the time when I ain't had shit. I'm talking way before the Cuban or the yellow whip. Niggas thinking that I got a younger reflection of daddy look the same, but I'm telling you I wasn't him. The world turns as another nigga loses his life, while we glorify his money, never knowing the price. They try to tell me it's a gamble, we just rolling the dice. No, the game ain't fair, niggas ain't playing right. Could you last in a jungle full of wolves and thugs? A cesspool of jealousy with endless drugs. Wicked ass recipe, they out for your blood, and we the cooks behind the stove selling niggas the raw. And if you spell that shit backwards, then you see what I saw. Us against each other, no regards for the law. Murder after murder, some shit that you never heard of. Try to stay about the way I crack another cigar. Lord, it's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Coming out the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, they trying to steal. Rather be judged by 12 than carry by 6. And these bitches ain't to be trusted, I don't think with my dick. They say they crazy in love, but it'll set you up quick. And every bitch ain't Beyonce or the type to fiance. Thought he was a killer, turns out he was strong J. Couldn't be a dealer cause you hustle the wrong way. Rules to the fetty, a lot of niggas ain't ready. Be careful of your surroundings, boy, you're swimming with sharks. But knucklehead niggas don't listen, we know it all. A nigga disrespect my position, he gotta fall. And with that attitude right there, they fucked us all. Cause one go in the ground, the other behind the wall. Shorty got a glare like Ric Flair. Hating niggas turn into Mark Summers and Double Dare. One of the reasons I keep the burner in my underwear. Niggas knock your noodle back and I ain't trying to shit a pair. Yeah, it's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Coming out the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, they trying to steal, kill us.
Scared of what, where I'm from. No bent knee, you're praying congregation, changing the outcome. No negotiations with God's son. No warning signs of preparation you can make when your time come. Changing your respiration chokes the brain till your life done. Then you walk into the flames of what some claim is a bright sun. Everyone you knew confused, wondering how come. Why'd he choose you, a good dude with a young son? A wife, a good life, a knife, a bloodbath, a gun blast. You shot twice, you hurt bad. A bad joke quickly followed up with a dark laugh. And just that fast, that's your ass. You could just be sitting in the traffic, that's it, out the blue the glass hit. And you don't understand shit, too quick to register. Someone out here getting you, and the next thing you know, you don't get it.
It's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Coming out the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, they trying to steal, kill us.
Run it now, hunt it down. Sacrifice to go 100 rounds. Back up off me, you gon' end up found. Unresponsive in a hollow ground. Miniature monsters in a maggot's mouth. Killers resourceful, gotta stash your house. Never remorseful, violent and forceful. Unsatisfied till I put you down. Out of the way, get caught in the fray. Who know tomorrow, enjoy you today. How much can you borrow? What would you pay? Who sold would you sell? If offered away, condemn them to hell. If offered to stay, if that's for your life, what would you say? If given a living and be unforgiven, who would you slay? What would you pay to see them all hit the wall? Hear them break, watch them fall. I'd rather thrive than survive, rather build than bring down walls. Drive or stay behind, forward till I cross the line. Make sure all the family's fine. Plant the seed, drink the wine, pass the weed, see the sign. Make it there, we have to climb. 1 foot at a time over opposition spines. Rise past the occasion, carve truth over the lies. Keep the hunger in my belly and the fire in my eyes. The thirst for more, the need for change, the rush of war. I'm pleased with pain. Every open door leads to fields of flame. And that black smoke it lack hope and it bring no rain. Killing cancers seems to me the only answer. Murder become masters. Make soldiers of those they capture. Some in the second coming, help hellfire and rapture. Everything they need a love, want it or went after. You pray with your pastor, let's see how long that lasts, huh? We thrive on disasters, prey on the poorest bastards. Doggy dog the highest hogs, what they own's what we after. Sacrifice of that shit life will put you out to pasture. Destruction and disaster, chaos manufactured. Apocalyptic signs, encrypted monoliths and patterns. Our timeline lies in tatters. The bad bitch that we battered, laying there, crying blood, convinced she never mattered. Mangled in different manners, mockeries made for cameras. It's money over everything, these monsters murder grandmas. I rumbled in the jungles, I done danced in the street. Look death in his fucking face to remind him shit ain't sweet. The thirst for more, the need for change, the rush of war. I'm pleased with pain. Every open door leads to fields of flame. And that black smoking lack hope and it bring no rain. They put them rumors out, watch judgment rushing down. Soon as the sentence pass, get quiet as a fucking mouse. You want no parts of this, all of a sudden now. Just your opinion, huh? They murdered someone's child, they butchered someone's baby, they tore a family down. You take no ownership for energies that you put out. The flossing in the cloud, risking it all for the grand. Manufactured confidence, injecting that ass with a grand. Posted your spirit and sold the souls of the fam you tag. Baptized in Flint water, wrapping dead babies in rags. America, the beautiful scab, the bloodiest bad. Red hats attached to heads in the bag. This black hole is enclosable, single-use disposable. Maimed and murdered action figures, still no longer posable. On words I spent 100 pence just trying to catch a quotable. Now every word is barely heard and these clips ain't reloadable. The thirst for more, the need for change, the rush of war. I'm pleased with pain. Every open door leads to fields of flame. And that black smoking lack hope and it bring no rain. Salute, 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 salutes. Welcome back. We are back at it like bad habits. Welcome to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill. And it's paperwork party season, right? Paperwork party season. It's going down. Salutes to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. On this beautiful, I don't know, Thursday. I think it's a Thursday. On this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Salutes y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. All right. We're going to get through it. Salutes to the usual suspects in the building. Shout out Jonathan Pantoja, PR Black, Jorge Castillo. Salutes to you, sir. Chucky Chingon. Salutes, brother. We in the building. All right. It's paperwork party time, okay? Let's get through the housekeeping quick and easy, all right? We have the TTS, text-to-speech links in the description. Y'all can hit those if you want your message to pop up on the screen. Today we're going to, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you want your message to pop up on screen, minimum $2 dono, get your message popped up and read on screen. And it'll look something like this. We're going to replay Jonathan Pantoja's dono from a couple of days ago. Here we go.
Jonathan Pantoja donated $5. Salute Chio with everything going on in this world. You stay grinding and growing with your resilience. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. It's free. It's free. Hit that like button on the way in, y'all. Salute Jonathan Pantoja. That's what it would look like, all right? So we have those links if you want to support the channel on that level. It's a $2 minimum donation. Those links are in the description, all right? We also have super thanks, super chat, and super stickers. All the good things that YouTube allows to help people support the channel on that level. What else? We have the Ill Shop. For those that have not seen the Ill Shop, make sure that you check out the Ill Shop, all right? We got our usual suspect logos here, different color combinations. Usual suspects logo. All right, for all the usual suspects in the building. We got our El Cartel merch right here. Different color combos, so y'all can check that out. Right? Our single color logo. Y'all can check that out. We're getting through it today. And we got our El Guapo barbecue aprons. Not to be mistaken with El Chapo. This is for the backyard boss and metal of the man cave in your life. Do not forget that we have the No Pillow Talk
Throw pillowcase for the young hustler in your life to remind him to keep his mouth shut. All right, don't say too much. Everybody's listening. All right, so make sure y'all check that out. I will drop the link of the ill shop into the chat. And here it is. Salutes to Dan Sosa on the check-in from NJ. Salutes to New Jersey. Appreciate you, sir. 030 North, usual suspect in the building. Salutes to you. We outside. Y'all let me know if the stream goes bad, anything goes wrong, anything starts happening. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We are on and we are popping today, all right? We ain't playing no games. So, luckily the other day I did not read the entire 75-page civil lawsuit because since the original lawsuit, it has been amended 3 times, all right? It's been amended 3 times, and who would have wanted to search for the amendments and then read it over after that? So we're going to get through that today. I'm going to get through the most recent one, which was from the 27th of March. I will not be able to pay attention to the chat as much as I usually do. I'm going to have to treat this the way I do an interview, just in order to get through these as many pages as possible. I'm going to skim past all the bullshit, but get through as many pages as possible without stopping and going. It's a lot easier for the edit. So the chat, you guys are pretty much on your own today. Speak amongst each other. To the usual suspect, help anybody out if they got any obvious questions that can be answered. Like so how it's gonna work is, if you really want to interrupt the conversation with your comment, you're gonna have to put up the $2 donation and use the Power Chat or the Streamlab chat and have your message interrupt me popping up on the screen. Otherwise, I'll be coming to y'all. The only time I'm going to stop the reading is when I have something that I've observed and want to speak about. And then in those moments, then I'll be able to take a look at the chat. But otherwise, you guys are going to have to go to the Power Chat link. To the usual suspects, I'm probably not going to be able to repeat this over and over again throughout this reading. So do me the favor of, if anybody comes in here and you see them asking multiple questions, just let them know, hey man, you can, the only way he's answering chat questions really is if he happens to run into it, or if you put it in the Power Chat. All right. So if y'all could let them know that, if you see that, because I'm sure there's going to be some people that come in after you guys have already been here. And Chucky's on the lookout for the haters. All right. We okay with haters. It's trolls that we like to destroy. So I got you though. I'm with you. All right. Chucky's wrenched out, so watch out. All right. Split you to the white meat. You won't even see it coming. Now, the reason it's important that we get through this civil lawsuit is because, we're listening to a lot of different people cover this story, but we're also listening to them with bits and pieces. And, we need to understand where all this is coming from. I've been scouring through some of these different talking heads talk about this situation, and they've been saying, what evidence did they have to come this hard at the house? And so far it seems that the only real evidence they have is the civil lawsuit brought forth by Little Rod. I'm sure with the rest of the civil lawsuits that have been brought forth on them as well. So it's important that if that's the biggest piece of information we got, it's important that we understand that information. Also, in this new amended version, there's been people taken out of it, and then there's been information added to it. It's brought 50 closer to the story and all of that. So I want to get through this as quick as possible. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, if I'm going to go all the way through, or if I'm going to stop. We're going to move on to something permanent and then come back to it or whatever. But I'd like to get through the reading part as quick as possible so that we have all the information and we basically know, oh, that's why they went and looked in that house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else talking about it, but they're all throwing little pieces. We're live right now. We're going to go all the way into it. So again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Salutes to Zoraida on the check-in. Salutes to Ivan on the check-in. Appreciate you guys in here. Hundreds up to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, make sure y'all hit that like button. And we're going to start getting into it. All right, here is the new March 27th civil lawsuit right here. There's so much to go through. Again, we would have been done talking with Diddy and on our way to back to some cartel talk if not for the fact that there's been new developments. There's no new development on where he is. All right. I love the arrogance of some of the people that come into the that come into the comments and they're like, bro, he's in Antigua, bro. Everybody knows this. No, everybody doesn't know that, and you don't know what you're talking about to be so fucking arrogant. But it is what it is. Expect for me to drink a lot of water. It's going to be a lot of reading. All right. I'm going to make sure that the chat is moved over so it's not covering in case somebody's watching without the sound. All right. Boom. I could throw the chat on this other side. I'll throw the chat over here. Over here. There we go. That'll do it. All right. All right. Takes us 2-page, blah, blah, blah. All right, let me lock this up. Cool. All right, here we go. Document filed 3/27/24. Right? Everybody good? We got that set up? Bet. We on and popping, all right? Make sure y'all hit the like button. Appreciate y'all being here. Here we go. Document filed 3/27/24. United States Federal Court, Southern District of New York. Ronnie Jones versus a whole slew of people. We'll get to those in a minute. Trigger warning. This document contains highly graphic information of an actual nature, including actual assault. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a I guess you could use the word shooting. I'm going to use the word shooting. Of a shooting, redacted images of actual intercourse, redacted images of minors, ex-workers, and prosties. Details of ex-trafficking and the illegal distribution of guns and rugs. See, if you gotta find a different word for every word, that's a problem. The plaintiff, Rodney Little Rod Jones, aka Mr. Jones, alleges in his complaint against here's all the people that he's suing right here. You ready? Zorada said, "Thanks, Shy. Thanks, Shy. That will be me in a couple of minutes watching without sound." Yeah, so I want to make sure that the text is here so that you could see it. I wonder if I could go. There we go. That's a little bit bigger. Boom. I like that. We good with that. Here we go. So there's the text. IB, salutes to you on the check-in. Here we go. Plaintiff Little Rod, Mr. Jones, right? Defendants are Sean Combs, Mr. Diddy, Mr. Combs. Defendant Justin Dior Combs, all right? The son, the little doggy. I don't know if that's who she's talking about, but old girl was talking about his little doggy. That's his son. Next defendant is Lucian Charles Grange, Mr. Grange. All right, next one is Cuba Gooding Jr. Not radio. Damn. Right? And we have Christina Karam. We have Love Records as a defendant. We have Motown Records. Say it ain't so. Not Motown. We have Universal Music Group. And we have Combs Global Enterprises. And we also have John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10. And then corporations 1 through 10 as follows. So that's a lot of people. Here, this is jurisdiction. We don't need this. I mean, we know that it came out of New York. And it covered a bunch of places. Covered Florida. And it has a bunch of different places that are mentioned in this lawsuit. And there's RICO violations being mentioned in here, all right? The parties are the plaintiff, Ronnie Jones, is an American artist and music producer. Mr. Jones is domiciled in the state of New York. All right, here we go. We got defendant Sean Combs. Defendant Sean Combs, all right, we already know who he is and all the names he goes by. We know how he became famous. He rose to prominence in the music entertainment industry, blah, blah, blah. And we know where he lives. All right, we know this is his son, Justin. All right, we know who he is. All right, Lucian Grange, defendant. Lucian Charles Grange is the CEO of Defendant Universal Music Group. Upon information and belief, defendant Lucian Grange is domiciled. Boom, we know that. Lucian Grange, in his capacity as CEO of UMG, authorized Motown Records and Universal Music Group to enter into a general business partnership agreement and to provide financial resources to their general business partners, defendants Sean Combs and Love Records. So he's just enveloping everybody involved in these companies all the way together, all the way down the line, all right? That's what's happening. Next defendant, Cuba Gooding Jr., relevant actor who's fallen from grace due to several sexual assault lawsuits and a recent guilty plea for sexual assault. All right, there we go. We got radio. Next is Christina Karam, Chief of Staff to Sean Diddy Combs. All right. We got Motown Records. This is all self-explanatory. We got Universal Records. We got Love Records. All right, Combs Global. All right. And the next defendant is Combs Enterprises. Is a diverse portfolio of business and investments, including music, fashion, fragrance, beverage marketing, film, television, and media properties. They have a principal place of business located in New York, New York. Rodney Little Rod Jones Jr. is from the Windy City, Chi-Town. He was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Jones is the second oldest son and fourth child out of 9 siblings. Mr. Jones comes from a long line of gospel music influencers. Mr. Jones started playing instruments at the age of 5. He began playing drums in church, and at 13 he picked up playing the guitar. From 13 to the present day, Mr. Jones has taught himself to play over 13 instruments. All right, we got pictures of Mr. Jones back here, and everybody else's face is redacted. Don't nobody want no part of it. Mr. Jones and Mr. Jones, the child prodigy. This just turned into an electronic press kit. You know what I mean? Fuck, this sounds like Mr. Jones is considered a musical prodigy. Damn, all right. His talents have led him to produce and create commercial marketplace for music that has been recorded by some of the most prestigious and highly acclaimed artists in music history. Throughout his career, Mr. Jones has worked the south side of Chicago's music scene, playing with the following legendary acts: Georgia Mass Choir, Donna Lawrence, the Clark Sisters, and the Smokey Norfolk. On or about August 2022, Mr. Jones received a call from Mr. Combs' representative requesting that he produce several songs on a rhythm and blues album titled The Love Album, Off the Grid. Mr. Jones agreed, and his life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. During the relevant period, defendants John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10 are currently unknown individuals and or employees who aided and or abetted in the commission of conduct complained or herein and or who either acted within the scope of their employment. Defendants ratified, embraced, and added to this conduct. As parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these individual employees by name. I don't know. From my understanding, your last amendment was taking somebody off the paperwork. During the relevant period, defendants ABC Corps 1 through 10 are currently unknown entities who employed plaintiff or aided and or abetted in the commission of conduct complied herein. As the parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend. All right, so he got everybody under the umbrella of this lawsuit. All right, we are live, Lupe. We are live. From September 2022 to summary of events. From September 2022 to September 2023, Mr. Jones produced 9 songs on Mr. Combs' Love album. From September 22 to September 23, Mr. Jones lived with Mr. Combs for months, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. Mr. Jones resided at Mr. Combs' residence in Los Angeles, California, and Miami, Florida. He also spent several weeks on a yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands and St. Bartholomew. As detailed below, Mr. Jones made several trips with Mr. Combs to New York City throughout his time living with him. Throughout this time, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album, all right? Damn. Went through it. He's like, I just came here to make beats, dog. I ain't come here for no crazy shit. Just wanted to make some beats. The claims raised in this complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, video, audio recordings, personal experiences, and images Mr. Jones possesses. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activities. Mr. Jones has personally witnessed and secured irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, brocaine, GHB, phetamine, MJ, and shrooms. The displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. Mr. Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and ex-workers at his homes in California, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Florida, and St. Bart. If you're guilty of that, Papa, then you burn. It's just it. It is what it is. All right? I'm hearing a lot of everybody's judging him too early. All right, cool. But if there's smoking no fire, bad. But if there's smoking fire, burn. Mr. Combs' chief of staff, all right, this brings her in it. Christina Karam, KK, instructs her staff to retrieve rugs so she can provide them to Mr. Combs for his consumption. So he got mad middlemen and mules. He tried to keep himself separate, but it didn't work out. Shout out Crash Out on the check-in. Salutes to you. Christian Combs, drugging and sexually... I said the word. Damn! Missed one. See, that's why I got to stay focused. Salutes to my cousin Lolly. Thank God I just looked over here. Salutes to my cousin Lolly in the chat. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you for being here. Mr. Combs, chief of staff, boom, she was a middleman too. So he tried to keep himself separate from all of the, keep levels between him and all of the fuckery, but that didn't work out, it seems. All right, Christian Combs rugging and sexually assaulting a woman. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassie's lawsuit. So he was planning. So according to this lawsuit, which was the impotence for the whole raid, from my understanding, is saying that he was going to clean up his image by getting close to T.D. Jakes. All right. Salutes, Crash. I'll hit the like button. It's free, y'all. Let me pin that. All right. Boom. Hit the pin. Replace pin message. Young Miami's cousin and or assistant actually assaulting Mr. Jones. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr., a.k.a. Radio, actually harassing and assaulting Mr. Jones. Bro, you got assaulted a whole lot of times for a dude that just stood there. Rapper Redacted, who could this be, y'all, on Mr. Combs' yacht, consorting with underage girls and ex-workers, and R&B singer Redacted in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home, consorting with underage girls and ex-workers. All right, we're not gonna guess at who that is. I'm pretty sure I know who academics would say that is, the rapper and the singer. But we're gonna leave that alone for the time being until we got something that's unredacted. All right, here we go. Chalice Recording Studios shooting. On or about September 12, 2022, Mr. Combs held a... Now, imagine if this was a... not a civil lawsuit, but a case file, because it reads like a case file. That amount of evidence that he just named in this first section here, all of this actual assault and actual misconduct, all of that is enough right there for him to burn, if any of it's true. On or about September 12, 2022, Mr. Combs held a writers and producers camp at Chalice Recording Studio at 845 Highland Ave, LA, California. Mr. Combs, his son Justin Combs, and Justin's friend G were present at this camp. Based on information and belief, Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African-American male. Based on information and belief, in addition to these individuals, other musicians were present at the camp. This writer has spoken to several musicians who attended the camp. One evening during this camp, Mr. Combs, J. Combs, and G were in a heated conversation. That conversation was moved out of the studio and into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Jones was sitting. They wildin'. All right? Shout out HS on the check-in. Oh, yeah. Good question, Chuck. He said, I wonder if he got paid, would he sing the same tune? Who knows? Probably not. We'll see. Here's the thing. It's a lot to this tune. There's a lot of lyrics in this song, bro. There's a lot of accusations. He claims to have seen a lot of things. He's gone into a lot of detail. It ain't like he put 2 or 3 counts on here and kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? But what you still doing here, dog, after all this abuse? So that money must have mattered. All right, so boom, there's an argument in their studio during their writers' camp. It ends up in the bathroom. Wrong is wrong. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and feared that he would be shot next. Mr. Jones, why? What'd you do? You know what I mean? He would be shot next. Mr. Jones genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. Okay. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. Upon information and belief, when the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and J. Combs exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in the fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his torso and leg hip area. Yeah, dangerous, boy. Hit an artery, it's a wrap. Hit an artery, it's a wrap. All right. Everyone stood around looking upon G. Right, nobody's trying to help him. Everybody looking, huh? Frustrated by the lack of aid to G, Mr. Jones dropped everything, ran to G, and immediately began placing pressure on G's gunshot wounds to his torso. As he was applying pressure to his torso, Mr. Jones realized that G was gushing blood from another area near his hip or leg. That's not a good look. He decided to lift G and placed him to sit on the toilet. Mr. Jones asked the crowd to call the ambulance. Mr. Jones lifted G. He made himself a hero right here. Mr. Jones, he the only one that helped, huh? Mr. Jones lifted G and brought him to the ambulance at the front of the studio. At this time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. I mean, that all seems plausible if something like that went down in there. All right, here we got a headline. Salute to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, we got a headline here. Man shot outside party. Man shot outside party at Hollywood recording studio. At least one person was shot at a party at Hollywood Recording Studio, police said Monday. Officers were called to the 800 block of North Highland Avenue at Willoughby to check into reports of a shooting at about 3 a.m. According to the LAPD, at the location, they found a man had been shot after stepping outside the studio. The man, in his 30s, was taken to a hospital in stable condition. He was reportedly shot in the abdomen. Sky 2 was over the scene early Monday, spotted several people sitting outside the location being questioned by police. No information was released about the suspect, and it's not known if the shooting was gang-related. When they say right here Sky 2 was over the scene, you know what I pictured in my head? I pictured Diddy walking out of Quad Studios after Pac was shot the first time. It's just the first thing that came to my head. When they said Sky 2, I'm thinking, I wonder if the helicopter saw Diddy the way the cameras caught him looking stupid walking out of Quad Studios when Pac got shot. All right? The man in his 30s was taken to a hospital in stable condition. He was reportedly shot in the abdomen. Sky 2 was over the scene early Monday, spotted several people sitting outside the location being questioned by police. No information was released about the suspect, and it's not known if the shooting was gang-related. Mr. Jones has several corroborating witnesses who spoke with this writer anonymously because they feared retaliation from Mr. Combs. They've agreed to speak publicly when subpoenaed. Mr. Jones has the clothing he wore that day and believes it may still have G's blood stains and DNA. The following are screenshots of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot by Mr. Combs or J. Combs. Let me take a look at this because I probably cannot play this on, or I probably can't show this on YouTube. So what I'll do is I'll download the image and drop it in the Discord for the people that want to see it. I'll create a little section over there for things we can't show on YouTube, so y'all can check this out. But let me take a look at it real quick and see. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I could show this. I mean, there's nobody in there, but it's a bloody mess, and YouTube got a thing for blood, so I'm gonna screenshot this picture. Boom. All right, I'm gonna go to the Discord. I'm gonna create a channel in the Discord. Right, I see your message in the Discord, Crash. I appreciate it. Let me go in the Discord. Let me create a channel, a text channel in the Discord. Can't see this on YouTube. That's gonna be the name of the channel. All right. Created the channel, and I'm gonna drop this picture in here, and I'll send the Discord link for those that don't have it. Where's it at? Pictures. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there it is. All right, y'all, let's post it in the Discord. Let me give y'all the Discord invite for those who are not part of the Discord. It's our own little social network where you could come see the shit that YouTube won't let us see. All right, shout out 298 Sosa on the check-in. Diddy's Cook, salutes. Elber on the check-in. Shy, I've seen the Shio YouTube channel has been mentioned in Oakland's Patreon channel a lot. Salutes. Salutes, man. Salutes to Oakland Leaks, man. He's killing it out there. I haven't had the chance to get into his Patreon yet. I see he went behind the paywall, but I'm going to check it out. Salutes to you, Elber. Jonathan Pantoja said a lot of people don't have a thing for blood. Yeah, nah, but YouTube does. YouTube don't care. But yeah, there it is. It's in the, it says can't see this on YouTube is the channel in the Discord. There's the Discord link right there in the chat. Y'all check that out. And I'm going to continue reading. So definitely can't show this. They wildin'. Right? Can I close this? Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Right. Oh, shit. I'm wildin'. Oh, I hope they don't catch me for just that right there. A little flash. Community guideline strike would suck. And if they knock me down on a strike, well, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Right? Because I already got one strike that ends in April. All right, aftermath of the shooting of G. What did Crash Out say? Crash Out said G ain't wanna up it, so Diddy lit him up. Here we go. Aftermath of the shooting of G. Upon information and belief, it is clear that G was not shot outside of the studio as Mr. Combs instructed his team to report to law enforcement. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs and defendants LR, MR, UMG, and CRS provided private security for the writers camp at Chalice. All right. The security was porous and lackluster at best. Oh, my bad. I didn't knock this down. Here we go. The fact that Mr. Combs, here, let me go back, put that on the screen, because I know Soraya might be reading, and she's like, why does he keep stopping and going, though? My bad. There it goes. You got it. Shout out Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds on the check-in. Salutes to you, Lucy. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a great day. Right? So security was porous and lackluster at best. The fact that either Mr. Combs and Jay Combs were allowed to enter CRS with guns, and those guns were not confiscated by security, is a clear breach of duty by Mr. Combs, defendants LR, MR, and UMG to protect Mr. Jones and the other attendees of this writers' camp. As a result of this shooting, Mr. Jones is severely traumatized. Mr. Jones now suffers from PTSD, severe anxiety, depression, and insomnia. The following is an image of Mr. Combs a couple of hours before G is shot in the restroom of Chalice. All right, so I'm gonna block this just so I can take a look at it real quick. All right, it's just Diddy. It's just Diddy. They ain't gonna clap me for that. All right. It's just Diddy. All right. It's just Diddy. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So this is a couple hours before he got his little happy. You know, they're not. You know, I was gonna say his stupid little happy face. You know, those are, I don't know if those are cactus plants or what, but whatever. You know, they're not stupid on some people. On him, they're stupid. You know what I mean? But there's Diddy hours before they let G have it in the bathroom. No Diddy. This photo of Mr. Combs was taken at Chalice Recording Studios outside of Studio G hours before G was shot. Right? Chalice Recording Studios and defendants Sean Combs and Justin Combs' representative Sean Holly provide conflicting and intellectually dishonest accounts concerning the shooting. On or about February 28, 2024, Chalice sent an Instagram message which alleges that G was shot a half a block away. Well, Chalice Studios, I'm sure, doesn't want no part of the liability of having somebody lit up in their bathroom. All right? So everybody's lying. Let's see what Chalice had to say. Let's make sure they ain't got no pictures, wilding out pictures right here. All right, let's see what Chalice we got. We got all of it in here. All right, we got the this we could make this even a little bigger. Let's see. Well, we'll come back to Chalice Records Instagram, 2.1 thousand followers. The shooting occurred a half a block away from Chalice, and it was a result of a robbery. There are police reports corroborating this. Please wait for the facts to come out before you start contributing to the defamation of our organization, all right? So there you have it. They're bucking back, all right? It was a block and a half away, and somebody stuck them up, is what they're saying. Instagram message from Chalice Recording Studios. Upon information and belief, Sean Holly claimed that he had evidence the shooting took place several blocks away and that G returned to the studio after being shot. Upon information and belief, TMZ reports that their law enforcement sources claimed that the story was told to cops that night, namely that the victim was robbed at gunpoint and shot by unknown assailants outside. The gunshot victim G stepped outside of the studio around 3:30 a.m. and was accosted by two individuals, at which point they tried to rob him. The man suffered a gunshot wound. Below is an image of the front of Chalice Recording Studios. Okay, there you go. Chalice looks like a place you can get lit up. All right. Chalice Recording Studios. Salute, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you have yet to subscribe. Please do. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can get all of the notifications. But if the notifications suck, join our Discord, because our Discord is much better at sending out notifications. All right. Sean Holly's a female attorney. Yeah, that's right. Well, what did it say? Did it say something different here? I did see that earlier, so I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. Cool, we got that information. Here we go. Photo of Chalice Recording Studio. In the photo above, the white van is blocking the security gate. Right. Upon information and belief, to enter the building, you must buzz the gate, announce which session you are there to attend to. Upon information and belief, once the correct session is confirmed, you then must go past another layer of security before you can enter the reception area. Upon information and belief, once inside the reception area, you must identify yourself, and the receptionist will check to ensure that you are on the list of visitors for that session. This is something that's very important. You don't want to end up like Jam Master Jay, in his own studio. To get to the restroom where G was bleeding out, you have to follow a maze. Once you've passed the receptionist, you walk down a long hallway, walk past 3 recording studios, turn left, and go past a lounge area before you arrive at the restroom where G was bleeding out. Upon information and belief, TMZ also reported that Mr. Combs and J. Combs were not in the studio when the police arrived. Of course. That is also factually inaccurate. So this is a who do you believe scenario right here. Do you believe Rodney Jones saying he was 2 feet away from the door of the bathroom and it all went down in the bathroom? Or do you believe the story that Sean Holly, the lawyer and the owner of Chalice and everybody else is telling, that Shorty was lit up down the block, around the corner and up the street? You know what I mean? Mr. Combs and J. Combs were located in Studio G across the parking lot from the building where G was shot. Mr. Combs and J. Combs were located in Studio G across the parking lot from the building where G was shot. Mr. Combs and J. Combs hid out in recording Studio G while the police investigated and were the first to depart after officers left, I'm sure. All right. This picture looks like what they were working on. Mr. Combs published the Love Records Chalice Recording Studios assignment list. Mr. Combs stayed in Studio G throughout the duration of the writer's camp. This is their claim. All right, Studio G and Lounge G. Studio G, Diddy. Of course then, Diddy was in Studio G. He had nothing to do with what happened because this dry erase board says so. Got a little heart on it and everything. How could you not believe that? Wildin'. All right. Upon information and belief, after being shot in the torso and hip and leg, G was physically incapable of walking. Therefore, the notion that he was shot several blocks away, Sean Holly says, half a block away, CRS says, or as he stepped outside of the studio is implausible. If G could do as much walking as Sean Holly and CRS claim, then Mr. Jones would have not been required to physically pick him up off the restroom floor and walk him through the maze that is CRS for him to receive care from the ambulance. And if you've ever been in one of these big warehouse buildings that house studios, it's definitely a maze. You could definitely get lost in those places if you don't know, where you're going, which left, which right, which doorway to go through. As of the date of this filing, neither the Los Angeles Police Department nor the LA Fire Department has released any official reports surrounding this shooting. There's been no body camera footage or 911 call recording. What is even more disturbing is that there has been no sighting of G. The LAPD has only released a vaguely written news release dated September 12th. The unfortunate shooting of G, the unexplained disappearance of G, the lack of disclosure by the LAPD and LAFD, and the incoherent nature of Sean Holly and Chalice Recording Studios' account of the shooting raises more questions than answers, point to foul play and an apparent massive cover-up. The deafening silence from the attendees of the CRS shooting stems from understandable fear that the attendees would be sued by Mr. Combs for violating a non-disclosure agreement. Upon information and belief, a few days before the September 12, 2022 shooting inside of Chalice Recording Studio, Mr. Combs required all attendees of the CRS shooting to sign a non-disclosure. Mr. Jones did not sign the agreement. A copy of the non-disclosure agreement that a witness who has asked to remain anonymous provided this writer is attached. Right? Hundreds up echelon in the chat. Mr. Jones was actually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. Throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant unsolicited and unauthorized groping and touching of his annuals by Mr. Combs. These events occurred in LA, NY, and FL. Papa, that only has to occur one time, or not even one. Just the understanding and idea that it might happen should have been enough for you to cut bait and get out of Dodge, all right? IB said if it's on the dry erase board, it's like being on the internet. Gotta be true. Gotta be true. All right, this guy right here talks about being a victim in all of these different places. You wildin'. Nah, never. These events occurred in LA, NY, FL, St. Bartholomew, and the United States Virgin Islands. Those very non-virginic islands, I tell you. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around bucket naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. Papa, you was a victim of what? I mean, how though? How did he hold you there? No Diddy. How did he keep you there? As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, defendant Christina Coran. KK responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with, "You know, Sean will be Sean. Sean will be split to the white meat. Like, what are you talking about?" KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones's annuals and granules as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. Me busting you upside your shit is my way of showing you that I don't like the way you show me that you like me. Me drawing blood. Chucky said, right, it's either punk-ish or I don't care how much money you got. I see five. Yeah, I'm making it known, like all of that. Like I don't get it, dog. I don't understand it. Despite these assurances on several occasions when Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around his house naked, KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and she would disappear. KK's hypocrisy is breathtaking at best or enabling at worst. I mean, she's another slave to the paper, you know? Some people are so empty and they're so nothing that that they feel like they can't get no better job or something, that they're willing to sit there and do this, put herself in a position to be uncomfortable around some filthy, immoral shit that she knows ain't for her, right? But she's so empty inside, she knows she can't get a better job, and if she can, then she's complacent. Shout out Upper Echelon. He said, "I want to make clear that ain't none of these types of surprises or stories in our story. No minors, no sexuality, no forced anything. Brother, we can't even find a body on y'all's story, all right? So, yeah, we get it." But we do have questions about other people, I'll tell you that. All right? We got questions about other people. Salutes to Upper Echelon. No surprises. Just a good story. Yeah, KK, you a silly little broad. Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship. With Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault and was working with Mr. Combs to groom Mr. Jones into accepting homosexual relationship. Through these sexual deviant acts, one would say Mr. Combs has a pattern and practice of engaging in such nefarious activity. This ongoing conduct shows that Mr. Combs cannot be rehabilitated. Well, yeah. I mean, again, if your freakiness is behind closed doors, it creates no victims. That's, that don't need to be rehabilitated. But if your creepiness is creating victims, then you cannot be rehabilitated and you need to get put down like a dog. Upper Echelon said, "Oh yes, those are true. Yeah, it's cool because it's Chapo, it's Diddy." Yeah, no, we're going to talk about that one, Upper Echelon. We're going to talk about that one. See, I told y'all, we on it, y'all. Salute Diego Ramos on the check-in. All right, here we go. All right, for those that don't know, I'm flying through the paperwork. I'm not sticking around too long, hanging out in the comments. In the chat. But y'all make sure y'all keep chatting. Stay interactive with each other. Make sure y'all keep commenting on the videos. Our engagement is through the roof. The work output is through the roof. I don't understand, what the holdup is with this channel going, but it is what it is. We keep it moving. Velez said, "At what point does this guy stop being a victim and become an enabler?" Absolutely. I feel like a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let people get shot, touched, all kind of shit already. And we just in the first 18 pages. There's 98 pages. You know what I mean? And this dude is like, "Yeah, I was a victim here, there, over there, down by over there. Now, how you a victim in all of these places? Stop being a victim." Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay acts. Mr. Combs knew Mr. Jones looked up to and idolized music producer Stephen Aaron Jordan. Stevie J, he was one of the first ones to put on his free Diddy shirt. You know what I'm saying? And but that wasn't strange to me because I'm sure Stevie J probably got a weirdo thing hidden somewhere in his whole situation. You know what I mean? Allegedly. right? These are all strictly the beliefs of Sha'il and the thoughts and opinions and all that disclaimer shit. Eat balls. Mr. Combs knew based on information, Stevie J is an American DJ, record producer, and television personality. Stevie J was part of the Bad Boy Records production team, The Hitmen. In 1997, Stevie J won a Grammy Award for his work on Puff Daddy's debut album. Throughout the late 1990s, Stevie J produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, and Notorious Big, 112, Jodeci, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and Eve. Oof. Like there's some kind of something allegation through every one of those names there, you know, which is crazy. We got the Sony, what's the guy, Mariah Carey's ex-husband, that whole thing, her connection over here. We got the Tevin Campbell rumors, Biggie, of course. 112 has their, interviews and their stories. Jodeci has had their issues. Faith, we all know her puteria. Jay, we keep hearing things about him. And Eve, like who there was a Stevie J Eve X tape back in the day. Who leaked that? Like people been leaking each other's shit in this whole community for a long time. Based on information and belief, Stevie J was one of the producers of the Love album. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration of Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones to engage in homosexual acts. All right? Mr. Combs went so far as to share a video of who he claims was Stevie J annually penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs showed him this and attributed it to his idol Stevie J to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs said, "This is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it." That's the kind of weirdo peer pressure they got going on out there. Chucky, you're right. Professor Griffith been saying this for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Upper echelon, man. We got to talk, man. We got to talk. All right? We got to schedule something because that conversation has been out there and we've been having it. So they got the peer pressure popping. This is normal, dude. We just take that. No, don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I mean, everybody's doing it. They can't stop. They won't stop. P. Diddy and the fam, Faye says. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper, redacted, and R&B singer, redacted, and Stevie J. Those two redacted names, boy, they will come to light. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexual acts. Damn, he held the Grammy over him on some weirdo shit? That's outrageous, boy. The Grammy ain't even sacred. Motown ain't sacred. They done bastardized Motown. The Grammys ain't sacred no more. Like, come on, man. You can't just hold the Grammy over my head. But if you willing to do some way out shit that you wouldn't do otherwise for a Grammy, well, you's a whole bitch anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, figure it out. But you only a man only gets even the thought of being victimized one time, even the whiff of somebody trying to victimize you, usually buck back. But who knows with you, bro? According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs promised to make Mr. Jones win Producer of the Year Grammy if he engaged in the activities he wanted him to. Thanksgiving 2022, Mr. Jones is actually assaulted by Young Miami's cousin. On Thanksgiving Day 2022, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house in Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousin Jane Doe 1 were also present. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered Brocaine to Mr. Jones, and Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk to the restroom. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin burst into... Salute to Jonathan Pantoja.
Jonathan Pantoja donated $5. Salute my dude Chio, your hardworking, consistent, and determined grind is impeccable, my dude. Keep growing with your resilient and prosperous self. Shout out to the chat, hit the like button and subscribe, it's free.
Salute to Jonathan Pantoja with his usual positivity. We appreciate him very much. Salute to my dude, Shah Il. Your hard working, consistent, and determined grind is impeccable, my dude. Keep going with the resilience and prosperous self. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button and subscribe. Ain't nothing but a free thing, baby. Hit the like button, all right? We've been stuck at 20 likes for a long time now, all right? Salute to you. Thank you, Jonathan Pantoja, for your dono. I appreciate you. Shout out Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Appreciate you down here hollering at Talking with the Twin. Appreciate the chat. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to keep it moving to Thanksgiving. Jonathan, salutes to you, sir. Thanksgiving 2022, Mr. Jones is... Oh, we did that. Bow, bow, bow. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs sent her in there to actually assault Mr. Jones. I mean, did you kick her out the restroom? Did you end the groping? Did you stop her? Like, what happened? You know? Damn, somebody took away a like. You a real dirty motherfucker. Super dirty motherfucker. Oh, no, but they put it back. It's one of those, they might have forgotten and double-clicked. Yeah, did you stop her? You said she came in and groped you, but did you stop her? No? According to Mr. Jones, as she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing. Well, see, a whole lot happens. I mean, we don't have to get into details, but I'm sure there's time in between. You were able to, I'm sure she didn't have a gun to your head. According to Mr. Jones, as she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing fellatio on Mr. Jones' exposed privates. Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. Okay, there you go. You pushed her away and you exited the bathroom. All right? You fought for yourself. Though you can't, don't cry victim if you went for it. Shout out IB. He said, I unliked and liked again. See what it would do. The live's so nice, you gotta like it twice. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. All right? Despite the lack of... No. And exited the bathroom. According to Mr. Jones, Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection. As she proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out the bathroom, she started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Despite the lack of assistance from Mr. Combs and his staff, Mr. Jones pushed her off. The following are images from a video of Young Miami, her cousin, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Combs. Let me make sure that there's nothing crazy on here. Bro, this bug-eyed dude right here, I don't know. Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs on Thanksgiving Day, right before Mr. Combs invites Mr. Jones into the restroom and attempted to force him to take brocaine. This the first image right here. Hey, bro, you want to go in the bathroom and do some brocaine and maybe toss up Young Miami's cousin? And then he looked at him like right here, like, come on, Diddy. You know I don't do that. Right? Look at him. Now, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't follow these people, so I don't even know what Young Miami look like. Which one's Young Miami? This one's Young Miami right here? I thought she'd be hotter than that. Is that Young Miami? Which one's Young Miami? Young Miami and Jane Doe 1, who actually assaulted Mr. Jones on Thanksgiving Day. All right, bro. Seems like you was down with it. Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. Hold on. Let me move this chat over a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine. According to Mr. Jones, he was transported from California to New York, Florida, St. Bart's, and the United States Virgin Island throughout his time with Mr. Combs. According to Mr. Jones, during this time, Mr. Jones was forced to solicit ex-workers and perform ex-acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. Bruh, so your nose never worked. So you fought everybody that advanced on you like that? Like, what's popping? On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring prosties and ex-workers back to his home in Miami, Florida. So he made you a mule, you know? he made you, part of the whole play. You a middleman now, right? What are we looking at here? The ex-worker that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his Miami home. Well, this just looked like a dude in a t-shirt, man, outside a gas station, asking for some money. Bro, what are y'all weirdos doing? Oh, here's the picture. I covered it. What? This, y'all going to jail over this? Look, got the Love Records t-shirt on. The ex-workers that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his home, all right? So he went and he middleman some ex-workers. On or about February 2nd, 2023, Mr. Jones believed Mr. Combs rugged him. Mr. Jones recalls waking up bucket naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in bed with two ex-workers and Mr. Combs. He also recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. Bruh, you didn't know you was kidnapped? You didn't know you was a slave? You didn't know that you were a runner? You didn't know that you were a prosti? This sounds like a person who was complacent and complicit and with it. You sound like you was with the whole party vibe, bro. The whole freak, what do they call it? Freak-offs. The Freako act. Let me make sure this picture ain't wildin'. All right. Ex-workers in Mr. Jones' bed the morning after being rugged. All right. There's a shoulder there. I don't even know what this is or who this is over here. Some hair. Like, creepiness is crazy. According to Mr. Jones, on another occasion in Miami, Florida, on Thanksgiving night of 2022, Thanksgiving, huh? It's a party on Thanksgiving. Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones and DeForest Taylor to enter the studio bathroom. According to Mr. Jones, he asked them for a $100 bill because he wanted them to do brocane with him. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill. So they don't do it in ones. They ain't going. So Mr. Combs waited a little later to do brocane with Young Miami. According to Mr. Jones, later that evening, Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit ex-workers from Booby Trap on the river. Mr. Jones did so, and Mr. Combs forced him to engage. He was forced again. How was he forced though? How was the force used? You know what I'm saying? To engage in unsolicited acts with ex-workers, right? The Booby Trap. That shit look cheesy as hell. I don't want no hoes from the Booby Trap. It's a trap. According to Mr. Jones, as part of Mr. Jones' ex-worker recruitment tools, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap. They require him to wear it to Booby Trap on the river as a signal to any ex-workers he approached that Mr. Combs was in town and had sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. So if you see a Paper Planes hat, what does this mean? See a Paper Planes hat in a strip club? They might be in there trying to, get some new talent. I don't know. I'm just saying. If the hats is the new sign, shit. Can't wear a bad boy hat now either. You catch a case. According to Mr. Jones had no desire to visit Booby Trap on the river. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit ex-workers from Booby Trap on the river. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting ex-workers from Booby Trap on the river. As detailed below, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and cover and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, these workers were accustomed to servicing Mr. Combs and would know he was in town by the sight of the bad boy's baseball cap. The following are Instagram profiles of two of the ex-workers that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and have ex with at his home in Miami, Florida. The following are Instagram profiles of two of the ex-workers that Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and have ex with at his home in Miami, Florida. All right, let me make sure these pictures ain't crazy. All right. Okay, these are the two redacted pictures of the putanas that they got from the Booby Trap, the tramp stamp inn, right? Boom. These are the town bad boy Susies. Right? Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with the individuals in the previous paragraph. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with these women. The following is the phone number of another ex-worker that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and perform sex acts with at his home in Miami, Florida. Trap Miami, Booby Trap Miami. AG, the Sucia was all good. Salute to Rilo on the check-in. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit and or have sex with the individual in the previous paragraphs. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used his influence, blah, 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 blah. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. So, forget about your merit, forget about your art, forget about your work, forget about what you're worth. All you got to do is this, and you got you a Grammy. Fuck you. All right? He offered him $250,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island. That's what I was thinking of in Miami, Florida. That's what I was thinking of the other day. I kept saying 5 Mile Island. What the fuck was I talking about? One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to record label executives. He sold you a dream, Papa, and all he had to do was diddle you. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs would often switch up his approach. He would go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face and informed Mr. Jones that he was willing to kill his mother, Janice Combs, if he must, to get what he wanted, so he wouldn't think twice about harming Mr. Jones. In light of Mr. Combs' detailed history of committing violent crimes, plaintiff's fear of Mr. Combs is reasonable. I mean, that sounds like exactly what he said to Gene Deal 30 years ago, or whatever it is, when he said it about Puffy and Biggie. I don't care who dies, as long as I win. What's that video? I always get what I want. Shut your dumb ass up. Mr. Jones has personally witnessed Mr. Combs and J. Combs solicit rug and engage in illicit sex acts. On or about July 2nd, 2023, Mr. Combs held a listening party at his home in California. According to Mr. Jones, present at this party were an R&B artist, redacted. All right, y'all let me know in the chat who y'all think that is. And J. Combs, ex-workers, and some underage girls. All right. According to Mr. Jones, the event began at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested female ex-workers and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several ex-workers appeared. Magically, they just popped up out of the ethos. According to Mr. Jones, in addition to ex-workers, there are at least 5 women in the crowd who were under the age of 16. That's it. If that's truth right there, burn. We're not worried about it. You know? According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced De Leon liquor. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs did not check the identification of any of these other underage girls. According to Mr. Jones, the presence of these underage women made him very uncomfortable. Sure, you're just the walking embodiment of values and morals, Mr. Jones. Get your uncomfortable ass. What was Diddy telling you? Oh yeah, you uncomfortable? Get your uncomfortable ass in the room right now. He attempted to leave and Mr. Combs forced him to stay. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs went so far as to take Mr. Jones' car keys to prevent them from leaving. After being forced to drink Lace de Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and another blackout and waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning, bucket naked, with ex-workers sleeping next to him. All right, Mr. Combs attempts to pass off Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr., a.k.a. Radio. Right? Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs was grooming him. I gotta take a break before we get to Cuba Gooding. Nobody's safe. All right? Radio out here victimizing grown-ass men. Nobody's safe. Jeez Louise. Salute y'all. I appreciate everybody that's in here checking in. All right, it's looking good today. We're hanging out, trying to get through this paperwork as quick as possible. We got through about a third of this shit. All right, but we're going to get there. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I get to cut out. Brother needed a little, what would we call it, a little brequecito. So smoke them if you got them. All right, I think I might need a voodoo. Is it too early for a voodoo right now? Let me see. What time is it? Nah, it's happy hour somewhere, right? I think I'm going to crack open the voodoo. Let's check it out. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me see if I got a voodoo in the, let me see if I got a voodoo in the, I mean, I know I got a voodoo in the fridge, but did I put it in the fridge? Radio ain't safe. Not even safe for radio, boy. Sad story. Y'all stick with me. Let me get my beer. All right, we back. I got my voodoos intact. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Facts. Happy hour. Let's get it. It's a lot of work, man. Ain't no skimping in my pimping. Right? It's a lot of work covering all Diddy's debauchery. It's a lot of debauchery to cover, right? I appreciate everybody for staying here. It's a paperwork party. Hashtag paperwork party, happy hour, smoke break, all of that. Same time. Let's get it. Right? Boom. Pour that bad boy. Get all the get the bubbles out. Right? And keep this shit moving. Salutes to everybody on the check-in. Thank you to everybody that hit the like button. We appreciate you. If you have yet to do so, please do it. Stay engaged. And let's keep it moving. Let's get through this. We're about a third of the way through. Right? Let's see. Let me get this out of here. One more go again. Let's go. Here we go. Not radio, man. They got radio, man. Let's see. Mr. Combs attempts to pass off Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. IB, since I just started, I'm going to stop for this random thought. Random thought, kind of surprised Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson haven't been named in this yet. You know they had to be at some of the same parties. Yeah, there's a lot of interconnectivity and, happening in Hollywood. But that's also a problem because we also can't go accusing people of things that they didn't do. I'm sure there are people that were on that Epstein plane that weren't on that island. I think that's a real thing. We got to be careful with that. Let's not go burning people at the stake that don't need to be there. Again, this is why we're going through this paperwork so we know that the raids are based on this paperwork. So for everybody talking and speculating on these raids, let's just read the paperwork so we could see what made Homeland Security, the terrorist police, go after these dudes. Oh yeah. Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. while they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. According to him, so you was victimized on all the islands, 1 Mile Island, 2 Mile Island, 3 Mile Island, St. Bart's, Virgin Islands, New York, Florida, Miami, and the yacht. Man, bro, that's a lot. You decided when you wanted to stop being a victim, or did they decide for you? Did you get fired or some shit? Like, what are we talking about here? So again, I take everything with a grain of salt. Do I believe a lot of it? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But still. All right? This fear became on his yacht. According to Mr. Jones, during the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better and then he left them alone in a makeshift studio on the yacht. Okay, these guys are red light district on the yacht, right? Fake Hollywood, in this case, freak off Hollywood, in each other's face, talking bullshit, too much money, too much deviance and debauchery in the nature. Again, I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors, as long as you ain't making victims back there, we good. The problem is when you start making victims now something got to be done about you. But this your boy right here. All right? Are they arguing over little Mr. Jones? What's happening? Are they talking? They passionately talking about something, though. All right? Mr. Combs and Cuba Gooding Jr. moments before Mr. Jones was assaulted. Mere moments before. All right? Mere moments before. As evidenced by a video of which screenshots are embedded below, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, and the small of his back near his buttocks and his shoulders. All right? Yeah, definitely Hollywood, Chucky. According to Mr. Jones, he was extremely uncomfortable again and proceeded to lean away. You should have just jumped off the yacht. Can't take your keys if you jump off the yacht, man. Right? Jump off the yacht, jump in a dinghy. Instead, you was letting them attack you for your dinghy. Come on, man. According to Mr. Jones, he was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. The following is a screenshot of the encounter with Cuba Gooding Jr. Like, who was videotaping them? Bruh, first of all, get the fuck off me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care if you Cuba Gooding, Puerto Rican Gooding, Dominican Gooding. I don't give a fuck who you are, dog. You know, Goodwill Hunting. I give a fuck who you are. Get off of me, dog. That's some weird shit right there. All invading people's space, right? But now with this picture here, it allows dude to say what he's saying, right? Got the Pro Tools up. Even the Pro Tools ain't safe. Getting bastardized over here. It's just fucked up. All right, but there you go. That's Cuba Gooding all on top of him. Yeah, nah, buddy was with it. The Love album. Throughout this time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was under an implied work for hire agreement. According to Mr. Jones, he was not compensated for his time living with Mr. Combs or the songs he produced. According to Mr. Jones, he was recruited by Frankie Santella to work on the Love album. Mr. Jones informed Mr. Santella that he required the following to work on the Love album: 20 grand per song, 4 royalty points, credit as producer and credited for each instrument Mr. Jones played, and Mr. Jones must retain his publishing rights. According to Mr. Jones, they agreed to the terms detailed above after meeting with Frankie Santella. Mr. Jones met with the defendant, Combs, who further reiterated and guaranteed that the above-mentioned terms were accepted. As a result, Mr. Jones began working on the album. As evidence, he was listed as a producer for the following songs on the Love album. Final release: Deliver Me, Stay Part 1, Reaching, What's Love, Stay a While Moments, Need Somebody, Homecoming, and Tough Love. Mr. Combs and defendant LR, MR, and UMG benefited from Mr. Jones' work product. They failed to compensate Mr. Jones for his work. As a result, Mr. Combs and defendants were all unjustly enriched at Mr. Jones' expense. According to Mr. Jones, he attempted to work with Mr. Combs to secure his publishing and royalty rights for the work he completed on the Love album. Mr. Combs only offered Mr. Jones $29,000 for 13 months, thousands of hours of work, and 9 songs that made it to the Love album. Mr. Jones was willing to take $50,000, his publishing and royalties. Mr. Combs' self-serving greed would not allow him to pay Mr. Jones an additional $21,000. Mr. Combs' deceptive business practices became so bad that Mr. Jones was left with no choice other than to make a public plea on social media for Mr. Combs to pay him for his work. After publicly requesting that Mr. Combs do the right thing and pay him fairly, Mr. Jones received an onslaught of threatening messages from Stevie J and Love Records A&R DeForest Taylor. Hold on. Got to make sure these pictures ain't wilding over here. Let me see. He was with it after once. You'd be like, hell no, and not keep going back. Yeah, buddy could have jumped off the whole boat. IB said regarding Epstein Island, I don't even think everyone that was even ever on the island is automatically makes them guilty. Agreed. If other things happened there than just the things that happened there, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot of people there. I think it was kind of a choose your own adventure type shit. I agree. Don't touch the goods. Salute Crash Out. Right, appreciate y'all. We hanging out. We hanging strong. Let me make sure this picture ain't crazy. All right. Remember, Mr. Jones said he got text messages from DeForest Taylor. And this is a picture of the text messages. I don't know which one of these dudes is DeForest Taylor. Had to be careful because there was shirts out. You gotta watch out. YouTube will get you. DeForest line 2, you playing. I'm in studio. Some kind of voice note. You're 100%, I don't know, lame and weirdo. Oh, liar. Is everybody dyslexic? Does everybody put their letters behind each other? It's just, or I guess it's the new language, but you got to figure it out. You 100% lying or weirdo. Good luck. Number's still the same. Run into a higger. Come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. Where's the threat? Saludos, Luis. All right, Mr. Combs used his power and influence to threaten and intimidate Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs is very forceful and demanding. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs does not take no for an answer and would often threaten to inflict bodily harm on Mr. Jones if Mr. Jones did not comply with his demands. As detailed above, Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face off. According to Mr. Jones, on another occasion, while standing in Mr. Combs' bedroom, Mr. Jones was forced to watch as Mr. Combs displayed his guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City. You got to think about it too. All right, this guy could be lying, right? But imagine how much in the last 30 years Diddy has partied, done rugs, been lit, so much with a group of people that are just there to give him attention and fake laughs and fake love. And he's just run his mouth about shit that he shouldn't have been running his mouth about. I'm sure there's a lot of that out there from a lot of those people. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with the rapper Shine. You know, Shine was your artist, man. He wasn't there to be your muscle. Diddy's former bodyguard accuses the rapper of snitching on Shine over 1999 shooting. As the story goes, Bad Boy artist Shine was jailed for attempted murder, assault, murder, I said the word, and reckless endangerment charges after a shooting incident at a New York club. Got a Gene Deal video right there. According to Mr. Jones, what is Gene Deal on Puffy snitching on Shine? According to Mr. Jones, he shared that artists and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, here we go, a.k.a. J-Lo, carried the firearm into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So Mr. Jones just implicated J-Lo. J-Lo, I mean, did they implicate her in the trial? I don't remember if they implicated her moving the gun around like that, like being the person that took it in or whatever. I don't remember, though. It's been a long time. I had a whole lot of life to do since then. But this right here is implicating her in, oh, you got a problem, baby? And she Bonnie and Clyde it and handed him the hammer. According to Mr. Jones, he shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the firearm into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. According to a civil complaint filed by Cassie Ventura, during their decade-long relationship, Mr. Combs demanded that Ms. Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is. What a lame fuck. According to Mr. Jones, as was the case with Jennifer Lopez and Mrs. Ventura, Mr. Combs required Brendan Paul and Mr. Jones to carry his firearm on their person whenever they went out. One of these occasions, Mr. Jones was required to carry Mr. Combs' firearm was when Mr. Combs recorded himself coaching Mr. Jones on how to solicit ex-workers. There's a lot of talk about videos, and we're going to get to that when I'm done with this, and I'm hoping to get done with this. Here we go. All right? This is the night in question, right? Diddy had his little Caesar going. Sean Combs, Jennifer Lopez arrested after NY shooting. She was good back then. Her insecurities had her fucking holding on to Diddy's guns. According to Mr. Jones, the shooting in Chalice recording studios confirmed Mr. Combs' statement. Based on information and belief, these statements reinforced Mr. Jones' fear of Mr. Combs and strengthened Mr. Combs' dominion and control over Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones was terrified of Mr. Combs. He felt like he could not tell him no. You could have jumped off the yacht, though. You could have made that happen. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs consistently made it clear that he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, had the power to take people and to make people and problems disappear. So he threatened him with his own fixer, huh? He had his own Ray Donovan. All right, Fahim Muhammad, his fixer. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if the police in Miami or California ever pull him over. All right. Upon information and belief, Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the CRS. The LAPD was in CRS and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the bogus claim that the shooting of G occurred outside the studio. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connections within law enforcement. So how many fixers and how many places, there's somebody that got something that could be fixed all over the place, man. Mr. Jones had no reason to disbelieve Mr. Combs, as he had seen firsthand through the shooting of G and the subsequent silence of the LAPD and the media that Mr. Combs indeed had the power to harm him. The LAPD spent hours in CRS after the shooting of G, yet there were no arrests. Mr. Jones witnessed the LAPD in the restroom pictured above, yet no arrests were made. The morning after the shooting, Mr. Jones and several others arrived at CRS, and G's blood was still on the floor of the restroom. Mr. Combs hired a cleaning crew to clean it up. Defendant Lucien Charles Grange, in his capacity as CEO of UMG, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group, through their general business partnership and their financial support of Sean Combs and Love Records, Inc., aided and abetted Mr. Combs' actions as delayed below. All right? On March 21st, 2024, former Motown Records chairman and CEO, Ethiopia Habtemariam, provided Mr. Jones with the declaration. Now, there's three versions of this civil lawsuit, which kind of weakens it as evidence. I know that this lady, Ethiopia Habtemariam, was named as a defendant in the last one, the one that I was going to read the other day. Thank goodness I didn't read that monster, because this one here is amended and she is no longer named as a defendant in this one, right? So, we go from there. According to the Habtemariam declaration, as Motown Records chairwoman and CEO, she reportedly directed the defendant directly to defendant Lucien Charles Grange. According to the Habtemariam declaration, Motown Records entered into an agreement with Love Records in around May 2022. UMG was aware of and authorized Motown Records to enter into a licensing agreement with Love Records. Under the licensing agreement, Motown Records agreed to pay or reimburse Love Records for certain of the invoiced recording costs incurred by Love Records in making the Love album. Since leaving Motown Records in November 2022, she has not been involved with Love Records. I don't know, it's cut off there. Detailed throughout this pleading, Plaintiff Jones began working on the Love album in 2022 until it was released in September 2023. According to Mr. Jones, the recording of the Love album began in Chalice recording studios, where Mr. Combs hosted a nightly party where ex-workers and alcohol laced with rugs were provided. Mr. Jones informed Mr. Combs that the Chalice recording studio sessions cost him over $500,000. In addition to the Chalice recording studio's recording sessions, the Love album was recorded in Mr. Combs' homes in Los Angeles, California, and Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones has a copy of every song recorded for the Love album, including songs recorded on the yacht Mr. Combs and Love Records, Inc., chartered from December 2022 to January 2023. According to Mr. Jones, every song has at least 5 versions, and many other songs never made it on the Love album. Each of these files is timestamped and provides a clear timeline of the creation of the Love album. According to Mr. Jones, during this creation of the Love album, Mr. Combs was very serious about setting the mood and creating a love-making atmosphere. To accomplish this, Mr. Combs did the following. He installed a lighting system so he could adjust the lighting in the room to red or blue or pink or any other color he wanted, depending on the mood he was going for. We saw him in the red room with radio. You know what I'm saying? Problem is, it's a studio. You know, most creative spaces are lit up in all kind of different ways. So I ain't tripping. Mr. Combs required everyone working on the Love album to take shots of Ciroc and De Leon alcohol. He would instruct either DeForest Taylor or KK to eliminate them if they refused. On several occasions, Mr. Combs would send voice notes to the Love album phone group chat, to the phone group chat, and posed questions to the group, soliciting their opinions on Mr. Jones, questioning his loyalty and whether they think he's a good fit for the team. Mr. Combs knew that Mr. Jones was on the group chat in his house and received those voice notes. After witnessing several people sent home for refusing to engage in the acts, Mr. Combs required to show loyalty. Mr. Jones feared what could happen to him if he told Mr. Combs no. This is another example of Mr. Combs' grooming of Mr. Jones. This kid was a victim. Rilo said, I think the Grange dude's very powerful. Yeah, he's very powerful in music, and I'm sure his money travels all kind of different ways. All right? Salutes to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Chucky said probably CIA ties. Probably. Yeah, the Muhammad guy. All this weird stuff is bigger than it seems, down to the chomos and the government ex-trafficking these poor children that are stuck in the system. They become missing and never found daily. It's sad. No wonder Puffy thinks he could do whatever he likes without repercussions for his actions. Diddy's gonna spank the case. It sounds like it's all hearsay. It sounds like it's starting to sound more and more like they bet everything they had on finding whatever they thought they were gonna find in these raids. Who knows what they found? If they went specifically off of this, who knows what they found? And again, judge is going to look at this crazy as well because it's been amended 3 times already. Why y'all keep changing the lawsuit? Who would have thought a whole album would be a downfall, a dumbass album? Who listened to that shit? I don't know who listened to that shit. Salutes, y'all. Hit us up for y'all in the chat. Hit the like button. All right. Did they listen? His lawyer's been talking tough. Remember, they said it was a gross overuse of resources to raid him the way they did. Supposedly there's more things in here that is what they were looking for. So we'll see what happens. Rilo said the Diddy are going to beat it. All right. Throughout the creation of the Love album, Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones and others to solicit sex workers. Said it again. And engage in X acts. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs felt that you cannot make a Love album without making love. Shut your stupid ass up. Right? We got the respective logos there. As the general business partners of Sean Combs and Love Records, Inc. and the financial backer of the creation of the Love album, defendant Lucian Charles Grange, in his capacity as CEO of UMG, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group, had a duty to ensure that the financial support they provided to Sean Combs and Love Records was not being used for ex-workers, rugs, and laced alcohol. So he's basically saying, y'all paid the man, y'all supposed to know what he's doing with his money. I don't know about all that. That's a stretch. He wouldn't be a lawyer if he didn't say stuff like that. Absolutely. He's not alone. He got powerful people involved. They're going to help him off like Epstein. It is no secret that Mr. Combs has specific bottles of alcohol designated for females and other bottles designated for his staff. Like, bro, this the lamest shit. It's the lame. That's just lame shit. His artist and himself. That's like for real teenager shit. It is no secret that Mr. Combs has specific bottles of alcohol designated for females and other bottles designated for his staff, his artist, and himself. This fact was detailed by former artist and bodyguard of Mr. Combs. In the YouTube channel The Art of Dialogue, former bodyguard Gene Deal exposed Mr. Combs' pill mixing methods to spike cranberry juice and orange juice. According to Mr. Deal, Mr. Combs would place Rextasy and other date grape rugs in the juices. On YouTube, The Art of Dialogue, former artist Mark Curry exposed Mr. Combs spiking bottles of Moet champagne in the VIP section of nightclubs. Mr. Combs would have a set of Moet champagne bottles for his artists and a set for women. Defendant Christina Karam is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs, Jeffrey Epstein. Wow, look at that image right there. Huh? In tandem, they're going to make Lifetime movies about y'all. Y'all going to be sitting there just like that. She going to be in a white robe. You going to be in a confused face. Upper Echelon said this is more extensive than the Chapo trial. And this is just a civil lawsuit. This is just the word of one victim that was victimized 6-7 times a day. I mean, forever. And never, he never went to the grocery store and decided to run. Yeah, IB said, y'all ever seen the Cosby Show barbecue sauce episode? Yeah, man. The Spanish Fly. Oh, yeah. Rico is on his way. They're going to Rico Suave him for real. A whole bunch of people. We'll see. Or is this guy it can't be all bullshit that this guy's saying. I'm sure a lot of it is. I'm sure some of it is. But it can't be all bullshit. Diddy Sketchy Man's Bentley. For Farnsworth Bentley. All right. She's Ghislaine Maxwell. According to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed Mr. Combs display and distribute guns from his bedroom closet in Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, California to questionable individuals dressed in all black. According to Mr. Jones, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Mr. Combs, he witnessed defendant Karam openly order her assistants to keep Mr. Combs high off gummies and pills. Defendant Karam required all employees, from the butler to the chef to the housekeepers, to walk around with a black Prada pouch or fanny pack filled with Brocaine, GHB, Rextasy, MJ, gummies, and Tusi. Pink Brocaine, Rextasy. Diddy's wild. He said, damn, imagine getting a RICO just for being a damn freak. Yeah, but again, a freak that started making victims out of it. He's a fucking dork. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Karam wanted Mr. Combs' rug of choice immediately ready when he asked for it. He's just a big baby bitch running around, give my drugs, give my bitches, bring my boy toys. He's just a big bitch baby, a rich bitch baby. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Karam wanted Mr. Combs' rug of choice immediately ready when he asked for it. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Karam ordered ex-workers for Mr. Combs. On one occasion, she sent Mr. Jones a text message requesting that he call a particular ex-worker. We have the message. According to Mr. Jones, Karam ordered and distributed ecstasy, brocaine, GSP, that's what I'm going to call it, amphetamine, MJ, and shrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA and Miami. According to Mr. Jones, on multiple occasions, Karam forced him to carry Mr. Combs' rug pouch against his will. These pouches were always black, and several of Mr. Combs' staff carried black Prada pouches. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Karam also sent Mr. Jones to solicit ex-workers for Mr. Combs. When the ex-workers arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, defendant Aram would negotiate their price and would take them aside and pay them. All right, what do we got here? What's this picture from? Sean Combs' butler Frankie with the black Prada pouch mentioned above while on the yacht from December 2022 to January 2023. Where you see the pouch? Ah, you got a little pouch right there. Let's check it out. Little pouch. What is it? Is it this right here? The young fanny pack? Everybody just got a fanny pack full of dope to keep this idiot inspired? That's what's happening around here? Some bullshit. Right? Some bullshit. Whole fanny pack. Let's see. As the chief of staff, Karam was instrumental in organizing and executing the RICO and TVPA enterprises. Don't even say that word, Karam. You can't say that word right now. Defendant Karam had the following individuals execute the following tasks for the RICO and TVPA enterprises. Stevie J, recruit. Oh, for the RICO. Okay, I got you. That's what they saying, Gilberto. We're going to look in this thing and see what they're really saying. We don't know what's true yet, though. We'll see. Stevie J would recruit ex-workers and attend and participate in freak-offs. Justin Combs would solicit prosties, underage girls, and ex-workers would engage in freak-offs. Brendan Paul work as Mr. Combs' mule. He acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' rugs and guns. So there we go. There's our boy Brendan Paul. To think about doing this shit with your son, that just the triplifies your lame, quadruplifies your lame ass. All right? So here's a picture of him and his runner right here. We saw this picture yesterday. All right, Frankie Santella works alongside Brendan. While Brendan acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' rugs and guns, Frankie carries the money and pays for the guns and rugs. So this Frankie Santella right here. Fanny packs full of love. Facts. Moy Bond hires ex-workers, attends and participates in freak-offs. All right, they putting everybody on blast. Moy Bond, freak-off solicitor. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs funded and uses his affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders who would frequent his homes in LA and Miami to secure the rugs and guns he obtained and distributed out of his homes in LA and Miami. According to Mr. Jones, defendant executed RICO and TVPA enterprises with threats of violence, threatening to eat plaintiff's space, displaying and distributing guns in plaintiff's presence, bragging about having law enforcement under control, bragging about unaliving people, and bragging about bribing witnesses. And jurors in the criminal case concerning the 1999 NYC nightclub shooting with Shine. As a result, Mr. Combs could maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, defendants executed his RICO TVPA enterprises with threats of isolation from the music and entertainment industry. So they threatened to blackball you. Parading powerful music industry executives at his parties filled with ex-workers and illegal rugs such as ecstasy, brocaine, GSP, amphetamine, MJ, and mushrooms. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs executed his RICO with threats of non-payment for work completed, fake promises of cash payments, Producer of the Year Grammy Awards, and guaranteed access to future projects and a $20 million home on Star Island. Did you get any of that? You didn't get none of that? Not even a little bit? He didn't get you a Gatorade? None of that shit? It's crazy. Bananas. Yeah, well, he could say he was on drugs and wasn't in his right mind. Still a PDF file, though. Absolutely. Upper echelon said everyone's snitching. It's not about being a freak. It's about the rugging and ex assault that occurred while being in a position of authority. Absolutely. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole thing is about. If okay, you're a freak, cool. You back there making victims, motherfucker? No. We gotta bring you to the light. Okay, you can't stop, won't stop, motherfucker. We got to stop you. Mr. Combs is allowed to wreak havoc. While living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home. Now, this right here is what they're saying was the biggest thing that they were looking for. They believed that if this was a real practice in Diddy's home and that there was cameras in every room recording for the sake of blackmailing people the same way, I'm sure Epstein pulled off in his time, they were coming for that tape. And they were looking to see if that evidence was there. Now, my thing is, do you believe that this dummy is dumb enough to still have any type of anything there, knowing that he's hot? Secondly, in any of those videos that we watched the other day of his crib, did we see a little camera up in the corner? What did we see? So this is a big reason. This line right here, 190, while living and traveling with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones discovered that Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home. That's a big reason why they raided him, Walk to Brooklyn for cheesecake. There's that weird reel circulating when Diddy in the Revolt press conference, he said something, he's not that rigorous with a weird green. Yeah, he just got a weird sense of humor. He's a dork. 191. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs has recordings of several celebrities, artists, music label executives, and athletes engaging in illegal activity at Mr. Combs' functions. Upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, as in the case with the homosexual X tape that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, claiming to be Stevie J. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of everyone who has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Puff swears he's going to get these tapes. Puff said it today on his Instagram. He's like, I bet you I'm going to get these tapes. Fifth, did I say Puff? No, I'm sorry, Fifth. Fifth said he's going to get these tapes. And Fifth, he's in mode right now where he's like, I'm turning everything into a movie. You know what I'm saying? So the unauthorized Diddy Do It is coming soon. All right, let's see. Who attended these freak-off house parties. Upon information and belief, due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Mr. Combs believes that he is above the law and untouchable. Based on information, Mr. Combs employs Jose Cruz as his IT director. This writer has spoken to several former employees of Mr. Combs who confirmed that Jose Cruz is the gatekeeper to all of Mr. Combs' recordings. It's a crazy key to have, boy. Upon information and belief, Jose Cruz intentionally hides behind the camera and from social media and the internet due to all of the incriminating acts he is required to record from Mr. Combs. Jose, Puff's tech guy. Cali. Right? Phone numbers. Defendant Mr. Combs hired private investigator Russell L. Green to seek out, harass, and bribe individuals to provide dirt on Mr. Jones. On or about March 2nd, 2024, Mr. Jones was informed by a close friend from his church that Mr. Combs' engineer Matt Testa provided an individual's phone number to Los Angeles-based private investigator Russell L. Green. It's Russell Green. He gave me your number. Are you available to speak with me? Hey, I can chat in a couple hours if that's cool. Sounds good. I'm in an event from 3 to 5, so I'll be available after 5. I'm on the West Coast. Where are you? In Los Angeles. I can talk at 1:30 as well. You available now? Did you just call me? Yes. So this is who? This is the engineer and the private eye. Upon information and belief, Mr. Green attempted to bribe this anonymous individual with an uncertain amount of money in exchange for her producing text messages or any evidence that this individual could produce to paint Mr. Jones in a bad light. During a call with Mr. Jones, this individual expressed fear for their safety and for the safety of their family. This is a clear example of some of the tactics implemented by Mr. Combs and the members of Combs RICO. Besides contacting the individual previously mentioned, Mr. Green contacted Mr. Jones' 8-year-old daughter. That's bananas. He solicited information from this child about her father until she cried in fear and handed the phone to her mother. At that time, her mother hung up the phone. Mr. Green then proceeded to text her. She informed him that she did not want to be bothered, and he continued to send her unwanted, harassing text messages. So when you're no longer a private eye, you've become a goon. And I got a right to come after you. First cause of action: conduct and participate in a RICO enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, violations of racketeering influence to corrupt organization act codified, blah, 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 against everybody. Mr. Jones incorporates by reference all the preceding paragraphs and realleges them as if set forth fully herein. Lucian Grange, UMG, Motown, everybody's 100% liable for the actions of Sean Combs and by extension Love Records, Combs Global, Christina Karam, everybody, all the defendants, Justin Combs, everybody. The financial support provided by the collective was the lifeline that spearheaded and maintained defendant Sean Combs Enterprises. So all of you people are responsible, all right? This is all that's talking about. Defendants and individuals, meaning of person. None of this is just all legal mumbo jumbo, right? And precedents and any act of threat involving unaliving, kidnapping, right? Enterprises engaged in, the sections, unlawful, these are all the charges that they're bringing up. Defendants have unlawfully increased their profits by luring and deceiving producers, musicians, writers, creators, and artists such as plaintiff to their organization for the misstated purpose of using their talents as creative to produce music. Defendants' true intentions are later revealed through a calculated grooming scheme that involves false promise of business opportunities, exposure to music executives with the promise of future introductions, and the promise of awards and accolades, which quickly shifts to unauthorized rugging, threats of bodily harm, ex-trafficking, and sleep deprivation. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs often required Mr. Jones to work for several consecutive days without sleep. According to Mr. Jones, it was imperative always to look like he was working whenever Mr. Combs walked by. Within a few months of working for and living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed KK instruct her direct reports and Combs Enterprise employees Brendan, Frankie, and Moy to acquire and transport the following rugs: Rextasy, Brocaine, GSP, Phetamine, MJ, and Shrooms. Mr. Jones personally witnessed Combs Enterprise employ Brendan to transport firearms to and from nightclubs, strip clubs, and other venues for Mr. Combs on his person in Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs distribute firearms out of his bedroom closet to individuals that Mr. Jones knew to be members of local gangs. During the making of the Love album, several evenings, Mr. Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs instruct Combs Enterprise employees Brendan, Frankie, and Moy to solicit ex-workers to the recording studio at his homes and to the Chalice recording studios. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs felt there was too much testosterone in the studio and wanted ex-workers there to create the vibe for the Love album. Then, these workers arrived and Mr. Jones and the other musicians and producers were required to engage in X-acts with them. KK and Frankie would often negotiate the price for the ex-workers' services. They would either pay the workers in cash, because there wasn't no praying going on. They would either pay the workers in cash electronically, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, wire transfer, Puteria Pal, whatever you could find, or through any other form requested by the ex-workers. As detailed in the chart below, when Mr. Jones was groomed into soliciting ex-workers for Mr. Combs, he often negotiated the cost via text message. The RICO, which all defendants have engaged in and activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, is comprised of an association, in fact, of persons, including each defendant and other unnamed co-conspirators. That association was structured by various general partnership agreements, established deals, distribution deals, contracts, all that good stuff, knowingly or unknowingly, blah, blah. They also work collectively to deceptively obtain... No, hold on. Let me go back. By which the defendants assume different roles in either knowingly or negligently funding, directly or indirectly participating in the acts necessary to carry out a scheme to acquire and distribute rugs, firearms, prosties, and ex-workers. They also work collectively to deceptively obtain the labor of producers, musicians, writers, creators, and artists such as plaintiffs to utilize their talents and labor to produce music and other tangible goods and service without full compensation. As detailed herein, Plaintiff Jones worked for Mr. Combs for 13 months. So for 13 months, you was just a victim, huh? Chucky said, I remember the episode of Run's House when Diddy's confessing and he's telling everyone he has secret rooms. Like, bro, shit is stranger than fiction. Salute to y'all. Hundreds up in the chat. I'm still here babbling. We're almost home. Salute to y'all. Hit that like button. Let me knock this down. Here we go. Make sure the stream is good. Everything's gravy over here. All right. For 13 months. As detailed here, Plaintiff Jones worked for Mr. Combs for 13 months. Combs' enterprise employee Frankie solicited him to produce the Love album. Frankie and Mr. Combs agreed to provide Mr. Jones $20,000 per song, 4 royalty points per song, credit as producer, credit for each instrument Mr. Jones played, and publishing rights for Mr. Jones' work in exchange for Mr. Jones' services on the Love album. Over 13 months, Mr. Jones fulfilled his end of the agreement and provided services for the Love album. Mr. Combs benefited from Mr. Jones' services and refused to compensate him by their agreement. Mr. Jones is not only the creative who had his services stolen by Mr. Combs, many creatives worked for months on the Love album and were never compensated for their work. According to the Habtemarium Declaration, the collective reimbursed or paid for the production of the Love album. Mr. Jones was not compensated. So if the Habtemarium Declaration is correct, what was the collective financial support used for? And what mechanism did the collective have in place to ensure that the money provided to defendants Sean Combs, Combs Enterprises, Love Records, Justin Combs, Christine Karam were used for the purpose outlined in the collective's partnership deal with the defendants? All of them names. The collectives, Sean Combs and the rest of them, all share a common purpose: to use deception, coercion, force, and the threat of violence to enrich themselves at the expense of individuals like the plaintiff. As set forth herein, although members of the collective may not have directly threatened, coerced, forced, or violently threatened plaintiff, they financially benefited from the defendants. And they ran a scheme of defrauding and intimidating the plaintiff with threats of violence, threatening to eat his face, displaying and distributing guns in his presence, bragging about having law enforcement under control, all of that stuff they said, even the Shine shooting. Threats of isolation from the music, we heard all of that. It is reasonable to believe the defendant, Sean Combs, would not have engaged in these acts of threats, but for the existence of the RICO scheme and their understanding that the collective would provide unfettered access to financial resources without ever questioning defendants Sean Combs and everybody else. Upon information and belief, the collective and Sean Combs have had several partnerships throughout the years, as is the case here, with Lucian Grange and all of these different companies. All right, we're getting past the bullshit here. To utilize their talents and labor to produce music and other tangible goods and services without compensation. Date of the partnership, blah, 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 blah. We don't need all that. This is all bullshit. Here we go. As outlined in the chart above, from 2003 to 2005, defendant Combs, the then CEO and owner of Bad Boy Records, entered a joint venture deal with Universal Music, a subsidiary of defendant Universal Music Group. Upon information and belief at the time, defendant Combs and UMG entered their 3-year joint venture. It was public knowledge that Mr. Combs had a serious reputation for violence and engaging in criminal activity. Defendant UMG had first-hand knowledge of Combs' propensity for violence because on April 16, 1999, Combs assaulted Steve Stout, their executive vice president of Interscope Geffen A&R. Combs was arrested and charged with 2 felonies, second-degree assault and criminal mischief, in the beating of Steve Stout, who says Combs and 2 bodyguards beat him with their fists, a telephone, and champagne bottles and chairs. Mr. Combs had criminal trials surrounding the 1999 nightclub shooting in NYC when Mr. Combs required his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC club. In 2001, former television host Roger Mills sued Combs for assault. This case did not end until 2004, 2 years into the joint venture deal. Despite all these public warnings of a pattern in the practice of behavior that evidence a propensity to engage in violent crimes and other criminal activity, defendant UMG chose to get into a general partnership with Mr. Combs. They knew or should have known that it had a duty to monitor how the financial resources they provided to Mr. Combs were being spent upon information and belief from 2009 to 2015. They continued their RICO enterprise when Mr. Combs, UMG, and Mr. Grange entered into general business. So they're saying you should know what your people are spending their money on, which is bullshit. Facts. He bet that she's still Jenny from the block. She don't want no part. Yeah, no, 50 ain't like, not 50. Puffy's not just, you can't just walk around and slap him. He gonna slap you back. But he gonna come with security and shit to slap you back. But he's infamous for slapping a motherfucker. Again, that beef with him and Steve Stout was about the video for Hate Me Now. It was a Nas video, Hate Me Now. And in the video, when they shot the video, they were both on crucifixes, right? Some point or another, Diddy decided he changed his mind. He didn't want to be seen up there on a crucifix, so he wanted the video changed. But when the video came out, he was up there on the cross. I remember the premiere. Saw it live. I don't know, might have been Rap City, something like that. But I remember when they first played it, they played it with Diddy on the cross. We didn't just have YouTube back then. We couldn't just run and watch the video. But that's why he went and slapped up Steve Stout. All right, but this is all a bunch of bullshit. We know all this already. Here we go. Here we go. As part of this scheme, defendants required the artists, creatives, musicians, and producers to visit strip clubs wearing exclusive, authentic Bad Boy merchandise and to use the name and reputation of Mr. Combs to solicit ex-workers and prostitutes. Look at these dorks with their Bad Boy hats. Mr. Jones and Brendan wearing the Bad Boy hat. Additionally, Mr. Combs used the prospect of winning Grammys. All right, we know all that. Does it just keep repeating itself? Grammy Awards, $250,000 cash payments. We might have hit the bottom of this bitch. No Diddy. All right, they didn't pay the man. He's salty. So this is just repeating for each person. Summation. Well, that's it, man. The rugging people, the underage girls, all of that. I don't care if you pay for it, whatever. If you take it or all of that shit, like, you donezo. You out here being a fucking weirdo with your son. Fuck is wrong with you? So this shit looks dead. All right, here we go. Trip details. What's this about? Shout out Jonathan. He said you've been going hard for at least 2 hours. Salute. Let's see. What is this from? Citrus Grove. What is this? Some Miami shit off to the island. By way of example, on or about February 8th, 2023, plaintiff Jones was forced by defendants Sean Combs and Christina Karam to send Ubers to transport an ex-worker to and from Mr. Holmes located at Two Star Island. All right, so now he's on Two Star Island. Oh, no, Two Star Island Drive in Miami, Florida. We have the complete text thread and have intentionally opted not to include it here to protect the identity of this ex-worker. Defendants Combs forced Mr. Jones to have sex with this individual against his will. According to Mr. Jones, defendant Combs felt there was too much testosterone. We saw this already, but this is just the map of that. The trip. Cool, you Ubered her. Upper Echelon says, Shy has been said Diddy took advantage of many artists with the royalties. Many, every artist. There's not an artist that he didn't steal from. It's just impossible. It's not in his nature to allow that. That's like, being a big boss over there in Mexico and taking a loss. He's not doing that. Oh, you don't know about publishing? I'm going to keep your publishing for the rest of your life. I'll give you 2 stacks for it. $2,000 for your publishing. I own my publishing. That's why I'm writing a lyric book. Because it's mine. From at least in about September 2022 up to and including November 2023 in the state of New York, Florida, and the Virgin Islands and elsewhere, defendants Sean Combs, Christina Karam, and others are unknown. In effect, interstate commerce did knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree to recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, and maintain by any means a person and to benefit financially by receiving anything of value from participation in a venture which is engaged in any such act, knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion, and combination of such means would be used to cause the person, plaintiff Jones, to engage in a commercial X act, to wit, defendant Sean Combs, Christina Karam, and others, and unknown cause plaintiff Jones to engage in commercial X act, from here to there and everywhere. All right, and further into the conspiracy, we heard all of this. Baseball caps, we heard all of that. Just a bunch of reiterations or the raw facts. Dates of forced solicitation. So he was a victim all of these times. All these places. But this is all bullshit. It's just repeating. We're almost done with this. Right? All these travel dates, it was just freak offs everywhere. Freak off here, freak off there. According to Mr. Jones, informed the members and associates of the enterprise that it would be safe to transport narcotics in their carry-on luggage because according to a TSA advisory, TSA security officers do not search for MJ or other illegal drugs. The following is a screenshot of video taken on Mr. Combs' yacht on or about December 25th, 2022 at 2:40 a.m. Brendan Paul is videotaped with one of the black pouches. 50 gonna get these videos. Defendant Combs or Whack 100. Somebody getting these videos. And Christina Karam required with the associates and members of Combs RICO. This pouch was filled with ecstasy, Rextasy, Brocaine, GSP, Amphetamine, MJ mushrooms. Look at that guy right there. What a piece of work. He just running around with this dude. He just running around with this. Look at the whole prescription. He got his little fanny pack. His little biatch. That's his new Farnsworth Bentley right here. No umbrella. Right here. The pattern of racketeering activity through which the defendant Sean Combs, Love Records, blah, 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 Brendan Paul, together with others, agreed to conduct and participate directly and indirectly in the conduct and the affairs of the enterprise. Because this is all the RICO. These are all the RICO statutes that they're smashing them with. Show me some more pictures. We got the SA here. I'm looking, you know who I'm looking for? I'm looking for a couple of names here. This is why I don't want to scroll too far. Fraud, let me see. Compensatory damages alone will be insufficient to deter such conduct in the future. There needs to be a criminal referral to the United States Justice Department as well as to, so they called for that raid right there in this lawsuit, you know. Wherefore, plaintiff requests that the court issue an order and grant judgment to the plaintiff as follows. Granting plaintiff statutory, common law, and punitive damages and applicable and post-judgment interest and full recompense for damages. Entering judgment according to blah, 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 mumbo jumbo. Second cause. Mr. Jones incorporates by reference all the preceding paragraphs. Yeah, we saw that. Boom, boom, boom. We saw that. Mr. Combs' conduct described above was willful, wanton, and malicious. At all relevant times, Mr. Combs acted with conscious disregard for plaintiff's rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his content was sure to cause injury or humiliation to the plaintiff, and intended to cause fear, physical injury, and or pain and suffering to the plaintiff. By virtue of the foregoing, plaintiff is entitled to recover punitive damages. All right, boom. Young Miami's cousin. This is the Young Miami's cousin case. Right here, we heard that. This is the Cuba Gooding one. He throws Justin in there. Everybody's in there. Fraud, all the bullshit, mumbo jumbo. I'm looking for these new names that I'm looking for. Seventh case, aiding, abetting, inducing. Let me see. Nah, this is all mumbo jumbo too. More mumbo jumbo that we already know. Go to Jane Doe's, Mr. Jones. Corporate Jane Doe 1's content created an unreasonable risk of causing emotional distress to the plaintiff. And Jane Doe 1 knew, or should have known, that such conduct was likely to result in emotional distress. He was emotionally distressed, y'all. The plaintiff's emotional distress was foreseeable for Jane Doe 1. Same old deal. 10th cause. Where are these new names, though? 12th cause. It's just never ends. And there's an important piece of information that has been out today. I just don't want to overlook it in this mumbo jumbo. You figured it would be in the original body of it, but I didn't see it. Well, I read it all, so I didn't see it. But I'm looking for something specific. But this is all the same mumbo jumbo, just repeating itself. Hush money settlements, blah blah blah. Lucian Grange. Bruh. Same shit. Bear with me, y'all. I'm getting through it. We chilling. Let's see. Repeating. All right. I don't know if it was in this one, if it wasn't in this one, but it's been stated that there was a piece, and I guess they're calling it that. He's alleging that, and maybe I read it. I read so much, who knows? That Young Miami and also 50's baby mama were little ex-workers that were out there middlemaning people. We're live, Nathan. So, if they were out there, middlemaning people, then they're going to be popping up in these cases as well. And from my understanding, I don't know who these people are because I don't really listen to this bullshit music. But I hear Young Miami is a rapper. So what are we saying? We're saying that these sucker ass motherfuckers get rich, right, in our culture. And then what they do is they get all of these sucker ass habits, and now they're attached to putis and prostis, and they're making them superstars. They're making them the rappers of today. That's a weird kind of nepotism. You know what I mean? I don't get it, man. It's some bullshit. Nobody's safe. So there it is, y'all. But I don't know if I read that part or if I missed it. And is the cousin that they speak of, is that 50's baby mama? But I didn't catch her name in here. And if I did, I missed it. Again, I read a lot. I read a whole lot of this, so. I want to say. But there we have it. That's the grounds that they had to snatch him up. That's the grounds that they had to go after Puff. That's what they used. That's what they went after. Now, did that open them up to other things? Did they run into anything in that? What do y'all think? Y'all think they found anything in that search that's damning to him? That's gonna, hold him down? Crazy times, boy. Again, I believe some of that happened. I don't know that all of it happened, but some of that happened. Peter said 50 going for full custody of his son. Shit, who knows? This opened up a lot of cans of worms for a lot of people already. People got some splaining to do out there. All right? Woof, that was a lot of reading. Salutes, I appreciate y'all for sticking through it, for staying here. All right, appreciate everybody that hit the like button. Salutes to y'all. Appreciate the chat for holding it down without me. Y'all did y'all thing. We're giving the rapper jobs to all the prosties now, all right? Future reference, you gotta be a prosty to get the rapper job. Crazy. Shit's crazy, y'all. Nobody's safe. Nobody is safe. See what we got here. Rilo says he thinks they would have had him already if they found anything. I agree. I believe if they had anything other than this lawsuit, they would have had an arrest warrant when they served the search warrants. I believe that too. But what do I know? Right? Again, salutes to y'all for checking in. Just taking a little breather real quick. Sheesh. All right, hands up. Make sure there's no Diddy news in the last, hour. Let's see, recent. Miami freak-offs and underage ex. Nathan said, I'm sure there will be a domino effect in hip-hop with regards to how rappers will voice lyrics about women, where there will be greater censorship in this genre and the habitual bitches and hoes. Yeah, I don't see that going nowhere. That is, yeah, I don't see that going nowhere. I mean, 2 Live Crew, Uncle Luke fought for all that. So we'll see. It's often rap would often be a bygone era. Hip hop will become another genre of music. Yeah, but as of right now, it's still number 1. Peter said, Jay, what up though? When the doc drop in? Chucky Chingon said, wanted to ask when the Twins documentary was planned. We'll talk about that this week. Things are happening and they're gonna continue to happen until it happens. But I don't know how long it's gonna be exactly, but we're gonna see it. It can't possibly be the same as before after this. It absolutely can. Hip hop has survived a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop has survived a lot. And it's, it went from what people called the fad. My beloved hip hop was once called the fad, and it's world music now. So, but yeah, it'll survive this. I don't think the lyrics or the music are even part of this conversation. I mean, I'm sure some people use it that way, but we've survived worse. We survived worse. Salutes to Lolly. I appreciate you. Miguel said, all right, Shy, you showing paperwork. I'm from Cali. You got to have paperwork on someone to get them hit here in prison. On the streets is another story unless they're important. Absolutely. Now, I figured it like every other website is saying this little piece of the paperwork and this little piece of the paperwork. Let's know the paperwork first. Let me read that shit for 2 hours. And then now we know what we're talking about. We know what they what Buddy said out loud and what made them want to go raid the crib. But I still don't see any information as to where he is or what he's doing or what they have. And I was thinking that by tomorrow there would be some information on whether they were going to charge him or not. We'll see. Maybe this goes the way of the dodo bird and we just wasted 3 days covering a non-issue. Who knows? But where there's smoke, there's fire. Oh, wow. Look at this. Stevie J is ready to beat up 50. Is that so? Let's see how that works. He's about to be a target. Let's see how that works. Nathan said, I wonder when P. Diddy will resurface in America. One thing for certain is that none of his celebrity A-list friends will want to associate with him, not even Jay-Z. Not many are standing up for him. I mean, I heard Uncle Luke over the last couple of days talking about how he can be being targeted. You got to have proof for this type of shit. And he too said it. He said, if there's proof, that's one thing. If there's no proof, then and you're getting railroaded, that's another. He knows what it is to be railroaded. He was dragged into many a court. Many a court for many a reason. Not everyone that's supposed to get got with or without paperwork. Not everyone that's supposed to get got with or without paperwork. Facts. Peter said, Diddy gonna be crying in court like Saul. Whew. The cry baby Diddy. Wow. Let's see what Stevie J's talking about. Stevie J talking about smacking up Puff. Let's see what this is about. Let me hit this. Hold on. Let me create some space real quick. Let's see. Boom. Let's get this out of here. Get this out of here. And we can get this out of here. All right, we back down. Aaron Hall has said things about Diddy seeing him in intimate acts, which makes you wonder. Aaron Hall probably groomed him. You know, Aaron Hall is notorious, and he's been mentioned in all of this too. Wasn't mentioned in that lawsuit that I recall, but then again, I don't remember what I said in the first hour that I said in the second hour reading that thing. Does Jaguar Rye have any credibility, or is she just a conspiracy theorist? She is some people would call her a conspiracy theorist. Hold on, we getting lag on the channel. Let's see if that figures itself out. Y'all let me know if things look bad. She is a conspiracy theorist. Some people could say she's crazy. Some people could say she be wilding out. Some people could say she is not credible. But again, I listen and take everything with a grain of salt because I look for the truth within the chaos. You know what I'm saying? And some things make sense and some things don't. So take it all with a grain of salt, Nathan. Jonathan said Fat Joe and Young Jock made it seem like Diddy could do no wrong. Like a lot of these accusations have no kind of smoke. Yeah, because people are afraid of having their own accusations come up. Right. Let's see what's popping right here. We got Stevie J is ready to beat the shit out of 50 over Diddy jokes. Stevie J has had enough of 50 Cent's cracks at his bad boy brethren, Sean Diddy Combs, and is ready to square up. The producer took to Instagram Thursday, March 28th to call out the Queens rap star for his constant jokes following Diddy's Miami and Los Angeles homes being raided in an ex-trafficking investigation. Stevie suggests 50's bitter that his ex Daphne Joy went on to later date Diddy. He also insinuates the power producer is in cahoots with producer Little Rod, who filed an ex-assault lawsuit against Puff in February. Quote, Curtis, what's good, man? Take that. You and your feelings about Daphne? Because she would gang in them? Or is it that you smoking Lil Rod's pole? The former reality star taunted with a chuckle. However it go, I want to shoot the fade. F all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis! He repeated, mimicking Cameron's pronunciation of from 2007's Curtis diss track aimed at 50. Check out the call out below. Oh, here we go. Let's check it out then.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Cause she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking Little Rod dick? However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis!
All right. So, evidently, Stevie J was the first one to put on the Free Diddy shirt, right? Nathan said 50 Cent's playing a dangerous game as no man is invisible. And 50's time will come, even if it's not in any allegations. He is a man that not beyond having his own problems. Yeah? He's also a bully, though. And he also likes to bully bullies. And, there's certain lines that some of us ain't willing to cross. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to test a person like that's invincibility or not. Or you just take it how it is and go on from there. Do Instagram videos threatening to fight me. You know what I mean? It's what it is. But 50 been playing these games. 50, what y'all getting now is y'all getting older, mature, chill 50. 50 wasn't that. So this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what it was. 50 Cent has cracked more than a few jokes at Puff's expense following his recent home raids, including sharing a deepfake video of Donald Trump lambasting the music exec, as well as questioning why Diddy's good friend Jay-Z has been MIA while going about it more tactfully Others have also called out Puff for his alleged behavior, with former signee Mace offering reparations is getting closer and closer. In addition to Stevie J, the mogul has also found support in the likes of Tyrese and Slim Thug, the latter recently scolding the hip-hop community for its disloyalty. He thought that we would ride or die for him. He thought that the world of hip-hop would stay down. This dude is on the list of the worst people in the world right now without no criminal charges. I agree. And if he's not guilty, I'll apologize. Right hand up, I'll apologize. Right? But it's been years and years and years and years and years of an unkept secret that's been out and in everybody's ears. And if there's no smoke, there will be no fire. But if there's fire, y'all need to take that shit back. Everything y'all saying. Right? So there's that. Let's see what else we can find. So we got Stevie J defending Diddy. There's videos of 50 jumping the crowd, knocking out people solo. I done seen Dog jump into a few crowds too. Sometimes you gotta jump in the crowd. And again, nobody's untouchable. He's right. Nobody's untouchable, but miss me with the fear tactics at this point. So that's the only news that I see. Backup dancer Tanika Ray knew to avoid him at all costs. Let's see what that's about. All right, everybody got their stories. What did I tell y'all? Everybody's stories was going to come out. Told y'all. Everybody's story was going to come out eventually. We all good? Well, all right, here we go. Why Diddy's former backup dancer Tanika Ray says she knew to avoid him at all costs. If I told my story in 96, then what? Well, you might have saved a whole lot of people, a whole lot of trauma. But you didn't tell your story in 96. Why? If I told my story in 1996, then what? She captioned an Instagram post on Wednesday. Diddy Combs' backup dancer Tanika Ray says she knew to avoid him at all costs when she worked for him. On Wednesday, the former extra host, 52, shared an Instagram post about her interactions with the hip-hop star 54 in the past and showed how she handled herself alongside a video responding to a segment where journalist Torre accused Diddy of firing his male relative after he refused to stay the night. That was something else that came out that I wanted to talk about. You know we all have stories, Ray said in the clip. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific, and only 5 people know it, and I probably will never tell. Well, that's your problem then. I'll probably never tell it, but since then I've been like, yep, and I'm also very intimately aware that if you tell your truth, you become victimized over and over and over and over and over. And mind you, I then interviewed him many times. Okay? So then why are you even saying anything then? She added that he's got a lot of stories because she's been in Hollywood for 25 years, maybe longer. Maybe I'll write a book one day. See, now you're just promoting as far as I'm concerned. You just want to be heard right now. Oh, everybody's talking about Diddy. Let me tell them about a story that I'm not going to tell them and tell them how I might or might not write a book someday. Shut the fuck up. Maybe I'll write a book one day, but it's just so traumatizing that women just want to live every day and feel safe, Ray added. And when we revisit, we live in a state of victimhood, and nobody wants to live there. So for those who are like, why didn't you say something then? Because we just want to live. We want to be happy, and we really want to figure the trauma out. So there's that. In the caption, Ray noted that women hold a lot in order to function every day in a man's world. Unfortunately, we can compartmentalization out pain and carry on, she wrote. We utilize the experience as a lesson and move differently. If I told my story in 1996, then what? I just knew to avoid him at all costs. Yes, I danced for him and I kept my space. I was on the vote or die airplane and kept my space. I interviewed him for his projects and kept my space. Nothing that is happening is surprising. Ray continued. Ladies, keep space to heal and move on is key. Gathering to incriminate is goals. But in this wild world with a broke-ass system, our healing is priority. Shame on all those men that let this continue. Shame on all the women that didn't have shit to say all these years. Shame on me, maybe for prioritizing my mental health, some would say. There you go, shame on you. But after working in a place that snatches souls, mine is intact and of the light. I don't know, it sounds like you're selling it for talks of a book in the future. I saved myself. Now if someone needs me to pile on my story, give me a call. But I think Cassie got it. Whatever. Shut your ass up. Bye. This is all the same deal here. This is all the same shit we already know. They be wildin', boy. I shouldn't have said nothing, then shut up. I didn't say nothing, then why you saying it now? There are victims and people playing the fiddle for attention. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nathan said, I saw that Torre interview he gave a few days ago. It seems as if it's been alleged that Diddy is gay or have some male sexual fetish. No, I mean, yeah, that's what it is in all of this stuff, is that he's gay and has all kind of criminal fetishes, and that's the problem. I don't care about your fetishes as long as they're not criminal fetishes, right? Your fetishes are your fetishes. They don't concern me. You make victims with your fetishes, you got a problem. And you're everybody's problem now, you know? So boom, there it is for that. Yeah, let's look up this Torre interview real quick. And there's a couple of things on the art of dialogue I want to check out. Torre. Diddy.
Imagine.
You gotta relax. Shout out El Mago. Shout out Zoraida. El Mago said he got the money to disappear. Wouldn't be surprised if they pull an Epstein on him. We'll see. We don't know if Epstein's off the planet or just on hiatus. Who knows? IB said, problem is that the biggest fetish is power over everything and everyone around him. And he ain't the only one. There's a million Diddys out there. We arguing about him. You know? We arguing about him. All right, let's hope that MSNBC don't flag me. We'll see what's happening.
Agents executed search warrants at 2 properties in Los Angeles and Miami belonging to rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. A source familiar with the matter told NBC News that Combs is the subject of a federal investigation following a wave of lawsuits that have been filed against him. Those lawsuits, including from his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, alleged physical and sexual abuse, which Combs has denied. The source also confirmed that 3 women and a man have been interviewed by federal officials in Manhattan in relation to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Late today, Combs' lawyer issued the following statement. Quote, yesterday, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There was no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities despite media's...
They took the victim stance on that one. Shout out Zoraida, I said going strong. Can't wait to hear it all. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. All right, the reading part was a challenge. We got it done.
Speculation. Neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There's been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name, unquote. Joining me now is Touré, host of Masters of the Game. The new season premieres Friday on the Griot. What is going on? Because we did also see Diddy's sons arrested. They were detained. They weren't arrested. They were just detained. Yeah. But what is going on?
Well, it seems that there are several people who are saying things about Combs to the government, and they are trying to figure out what's going on. I found it interesting that they had enough to get a search warrant, right, for multiple places, but not enough yet to arrest him. So we're in the investigation phase, and clearly they don't care if we let him know that we know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it seems part of his whole life, his whole journey has been this sort of scorched earth campaign where you see him continuing to succeed or do big things and leave people in his wake hurt. We go back to CCNY, which a party that he over-promoted, that people ended up getting killed.
That was the trampling party that I told you, where people ended up getting trampled in his early time.
About the many artists who either left, in complaint, or went to the church, or died after. I mean, there was a lot of disheartened artists who left him that he raised up.
Shine.
On and on, and now
Touré been in the game a long time. I wouldn't be surprised the things Touré's seen in his career.
Now this large, growing number of people who are alleging crazy stuff about him.
Yeah.
And these are things that people in the industry have been hearing about.
It's giving R. Kelly, Touré. It's disturbing.
I was personally disturbed many years ago.
It's a rarity that, you have a reporter, somebody like Touré, you're reporting on a topic like this, you're talking to somebody about this, and hold on, I had this recording off. You're talking to somebody about this, and you're a reporter, you're on the job at MSNBC, but you have your own personal story. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, with that much smoke over this many years, there gotta be a little burning fire somewhere, man.
Okay, I know this man well enough to call him and say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
And this might have been 10, 12 years ago that I called him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my family member, like, well, what happened? And they wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a mail, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended. But from there, I was like, this is how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to hear that things went even further with potentially, allegedly, many other people, it's not. Where
there's smoke, there's fire, bro. 3 months he worked for him, right? How many times you think he was victimized? Or I would see it like this. These predators and people like Diddy, they know who they can fuck with, right? And they know who they can't fuck with. And sometimes their mission is to kind of gradually make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like the frog in the boiling water or whatever. You don't notice that you're being boiled. They probably looked at dude, because I take it dude ended it after 3 months, right? They probably already looked at dude like, man, this one's going to be a hard nut to crack. No Diddy. Right? Took it easy. And then the first time he proposed him, dude said, and he bounced. Right? Didn't tell Torre, didn't tell nobody what happened, whatever, then eventually tell him, right? The other dude stood there 13 months. All right? Add an extra 10 to that. And was victimized on numerous occasions all over the place. So with him, they probably went after him early and had him for the long haul. But it's the same kind of story being told by somebody right here, out loud.
We feel like we've seen this coming.
Well, there was the situation with obviously Russell Simmons, who does not live in the United States any further. Mm-hmm. You've had these situations obviously with R. Kelly. This feels like it is going down that kind of a track because you have multiple accusers with nothing proved. He's not been adjudicated whatever, but it's just talking.
Video.
And he paid Cassie a lot of money.
A lot of money. And, the people are coming with videos, though. I mean, like evidence, not just hearsay. So, I mean, this is a very, very frightening situation. There was a period in the record business when a lot of wildness was going on of this sort, and here's another shoe dropping.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think, talk about where he stands, because what he's saying sounds very Trumpy. Yeah. It's talking about a witch hunt. Yeah. I had somebody text me earlier today, I think I texted you today and forwarded it to you, that somebody's saying watch for him to try to weaponize sort of a Trump sort of narrative, or watch the Trump people try to weaponize what's happening in favor of Trump, to say, look, there's this persecuted black man.
Well, y'all connecting Trump to the whole thing? Damn, boy.
Like me, who's like me, and try to weaponize it. It feels very Trumpish.
I hate to say that anyone is like Trump, but there is something in the long-term rise of Puff, in that he seemed to create his own reality, to demand that everyone around him follow what he wanted. Yeah. And people did. He had a ton of money behind him to start Bad Boy at a very young age. Yeah. And would just treat me. I mean, he's called me up and screamed at me on more than one occasion, and lots of people would say that. So the ego was gigantic. The ability to create the reality that he wanted seemed to be there.
But also to create a reality.
Motherfuckers be playing victims getting yelled at. Sometimes a motherfucker need to get yelled at.
I think that was dangerous. I mean, I think for a lot of hip hop fans, the failure to protect Notorious B.I.G., the sort of egging on.
Now, it's one thing if you blaming the man in a conspiracy for what happened to B.I.G., but to be like, he ain't protect them.
Of an East Coast, West Coast rivalry between friends that were people who knew and respected each other and didn't have to be beefing, and to sort of let that violence come. I think for a lot of us, and that, and also oversampling and making hip hop into a sample machine. Don't get me started.
Now you're doing that.
Now I'm doing that. But I'm only doing that because you're my friend and you'll defend
me. It's fake laughing ass shit. So yeah, there you have it, man. That's Torre's story. Torre got a story to tell. Crash Shaw said they should connect him to Biden first. He's probably on Air Force One as we speak. Biden, why don't you tell them that I just can't stop? It just won't stop. Right? Gene Deal seems to think it was a nice strategic move to pick up the mule, because the mule is gonna sing like a canary, but we already knew that. Let's see what Gene Deal got to say. I'm gonna speed it up a bit. If it's too fast, y'all let me know.
About that. Well, I think that the authorities came up with enough. Gene Deal, we got to get right into it, man. Diddy, his house got raided. How you feel about that? Well, I think that.
All right, so for those that don't know, Gene Deal is Diddy's longtime bodyguard back in the day. He was there the night that Biggie died. And he's had a lot to say about Puff over the years, and a lot of the stuff that he's had to say is coming to the light through some of the stuff that's in these lawsuits and some of the stuff that's going on in the news with these raids. Right? So let's see. We've been waiting to hear from Gene Deal, so let's see what Gene Deal got to say.
Gene Deal, we got to get right into it, man. Diddy, his house got raided. How you feel about that? Well, I think that the authorities came up with enough evidence to go into a judge by using the civil cases that has came upon him. So because they used the civil cases and found that there was some criminal activity that may have been found at some one of those people who, like Cassie Jonathan Odie didn't have a civil case against him, but Cassie, Jonathan Odie, and Lil Rob, they used the evidence that they had or the statements they made and convinced the judge that there was enough probable cause to go in there with a search warrant. But the way they did the search warrant and how they did it, man, I thought he was El Chapo or somebody. They took a tactical team in there, brother. They had tactical units. You understand? And it was for allegedly a sex crime. But they took, yo, my man, did you see the artillery and the way the Homeland Security came in there? My man, you would have swore, it was going to be some gun violence up in there, how they came to it. So my feeling of it is that
could have ended bad. Could have ended bad. Those kids could have been in there, playing rappers, straps on their waist, and got gunned up by Homeland Security. They'd have been like, hey, man, we walked in, he was strapped up by the waist. What you want me to do? Crazy.
Statements have been made that they could probably prove. They did enough investigation. See, people think that when the federal government go in there on you, the reason they got a 99% conviction rate because most people say, they got me. They don't go to court with them. So for them to have a team in New York, because they didn't really mention too much about New York. No. They had property in New York, property in Miami, and a property in LA, all simultaneously hit. Those different agencies had to get together, plan that, and that's not no bull. That's a lot of manpower, a lot of money. So they want to know how they spent the taxpayers. The taxpayers want to know why you spending my money on this to come up with nothing. So Facts. You best believe they had something in the first place to go up in there, either through, like I said before, wiretaps. You understand? Because if they convinced the judge that they need a warrant, they had wiretaps, surveillance, and different things that was going on. And then, it's a lot of crazy statements that have been made. And you got to look at that interview that Jonathan Odie did, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was probably more damaging than Cassie.
I don't even know what Jonathan Odie is. We got to go look that up. Anybody know what that is? Shout out Crash Out. He said, breaking news, Diddy's hiding out in room 112. Damn. I wonder what G-Dep is thinking in jail. For those that don't know, G-Dep was an artist on Bad Boy, had an album, Child of the Ghetto. I enjoyed G-Dep's work, Harlem guy. He had committed a crime in his teenage years, an unalivement during a robbery, and he never was caught for it. And after his time at Bad Boy, and after he was already strung out in the street, he had a lapse in judgment or a moment of clarity, and he turned himself in. And he's been serving time. Now he's petitioning to get out of prison. But I wonder what he thinks about all of this. Because he's another one that was just, all of those guys, Black Rob saved Bad Boy with Whoa, After Big, Bad Boy was in trouble, man.
And that was more damaging than Cassie. Because check this out. He said Diddy was transporting liquid cocaine on his private jet.
Yo, I cannot believe these shorts from Fabletics are 2 for $24. But look at the shorts I used to wear them.
Now, the DEA wasn't involved in this. It was the FBI and the Homeland Security, basically. That's because of the sex trafficking thing. But if they find any of that stuff in any one of his houses, there's a problem. Even if they find illegal guns. The constitutional right goes the right to bear arms, but he had to have licenses for that shit. So if anybody got illegal guns up in there, if they find any kind of drugs to a high amount, cocaine and weed, I don't think Diddy gonna get charged because what he did. He put everything in his kid's name and his company.
Did you see the video of his kids in handcuffs?
Yeah, that's a tactical thing. The kids being in handcuffs is a tactical thing that law enforcement use, you understand, hoping that people who've never been in handcuffs before, that it either scares them or want to make them talk. There's no reason.
Again, my understanding is whenever whenever Homeland, all right, whenever the feds, not local, whatever, whenever the feds, from my understanding, go in there, one of those warrants, they cuff everybody. They constrain and lock down everything to have complete control of the house. You don't want somebody hiding in a closet. You don't want somebody that knows where to trip an alarm or this or that or a safe room or you don't want somebody that knows where to walking around, knows grabs. No, you gotta You don't want nothing getting bastardized. You hold everybody down, and he just turned it into a whole psychological thing. But I guess that's part of it too.
After they searched those kids, because they didn't have a search warrant for bodies, they had a search warrant for like materials,
that's true.
Laptops, telephones, logs, pictures, tapes. You know, that's what they search warrant is for. They didn't have a search warrant for bodies. So those kids, when they came out, they should have searched them. And then, listen, y'all sit down right there. That was a tactical move to get them to talk and to scare them into saying something, you know, by keeping them handcuffed like that.
Nobody gonna say nothing because they weren't arrested. Or make a call, like Crash Out said, yeah, any of that.
None of those kids have, that I know of, criminal cases against them or known for criminal activity. So there was no reason for them to do that. If them was the damn Rockefellers or somebody else, they wouldn't have had their kids handcuffed like that. But you got to realize their father has painted a crazy picture to the authorities. You understand? It's a crazy picture, and people don't realize this, brother. First and foremost, Puff has been dodging the legal system for years. His affiliation with BMF. Even though Meech has said that Puff never did anything, Puff never been around her, they still was partying together. So in the authorities' mind, they feel like Puff knew what Meech was doing. Then with the introduction to Jacob and different people, and a lot of people going to jail for money laundering and stuff like that.
They all went to jail for money.
And this is documented.
Facts.
Puff being a CI for an FBI agent.
Oh.
I said this years ago that him and Kirk Burroughs took some paperwork. They was taking some papers up to the FBI, so like when they was here in New York.
Yeah, Kirk Burroughs is the original, I believe, co-owner of Bad Boy, and supposedly he signed it over, and Puffy used the bat to get him to sign it over.
They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know.
So he's accusing them too of taking paperwork to the FBI.
To the FBI, so like when they was here in New York. They was taking paperwork up there and stuff like that. Don't know what it was, but later on found out that he was a CI. You understand? Now, what happens? He don't have that. The guy probably, that was 20, 30 years, 20-some years ago. The guy probably retired. Puff ain't dealing with him, no, he didn't pass Puff on or something like that.
He don't got a Llewellyn no more.
Puff been dodging the legal system.
Did Diddy lose his Llewellyn? Huh? Diddy done lost his Llewellyn, man. You can't be without your Llewellyn. That's not how the thing is planned. Jonathan said Gene's tripping. Entire families in Chicago get their entire house torn apart for a lot less with the warrant. Yeah, shit. You get holes socked through your wall and shit. You think about that though. Think about all of these claims, all of these things everybody's been saying. It's either all smoke because he's never been caught, or them connections and them secrets and them little handshakes with the, the grandma handshake with the 20 in them. Them things go a long way, evidently.
With the people had it wrong. They think it was with the Black Mafia family. No, it was with Butt Naked. I said this years ago. The person that he said is his senior advisor, Corey Jacobs. Corey had 9 16-to-life sentences for drug trafficking. You make him your senior advisor, even though that was your man, he coming home. That's your man, pots and pans. But Whoop was the one who took care of them when they was away. You understand? Whoop was the one who took care of them. So now, you got all these, these characters, around you. What they gonna think when they come to your house? They got the evidence, or they had statements that you blew up Kid Cudi's car? You understand what I'm saying? They have statements that, you may have been affiliated with people being shot. So they come to your house like this. They treat your kids like this. Based on the pictures you have played.
Right, you ain't special.
So them having his kids like that.
Police thought that you wouldn't stop. Because you told them that you can't stop and you
I think that was wrong. After they searched those kids, make sure they didn't have like that, I think that was wrong to the authorities. So them having his kids like that, I think that was wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. If Justin was out there and Justin had something to do with this, I don't think it's wrong at all.
After they searched those kids, make sure they didn't have no weapons on them, sit them down on the ground, make them feel comfortable, because at this time, they're not criminals. They haven't committed any crime.
At this time, they're not.
I see.
Right?
Speaking
I get
of drugs,
it.
right? Because you been talking about it earlier. How you feel about Diddy's drug mule getting arrested?
The news about them arresting the mule, now, they're gonna have to prove that. Now, if that guy becomes a witness, and if they can track anything back to Puff with that, that's gonna be one of their star witnesses.
Damn.
Because see, they will give him leniency. They were like, yo, listen, man, hey, buddy, listen here, we don't really want you. You know, we know you was just doing this to, you know, you were doing this to take care of your family, feed your moms. You know what I'm saying? Pay your rent. We know that. This guy's living under this mansion, using you. Then that guy becomes a star witness.
There you go. The mule is gonna end up sang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang. He posted bond already, but we'll see what happens when he talks to his lawyer. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Trying to while I'm doing the live, trying to make things right for the edit. Trying to make the edit easier so we can do more lives. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right, we got no news. Make sure we got no news. Where's the Diddy News channel? Right here. Oh, I did want to look into the baseball bat thing. I don't know if it was Shade Room. Let's check 50's Instagram. Uh-oh. Yeah. Made it. All right, so this is what we had when he found out that his baby mama, Jonathan Pandora said, singing like Mariah Canary. Facts. This was 5th. He said, I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker. This shit is a movie. So I guess this is him finding out I believe his baby mama might have been a Jane Doe in there. I don't know if I missed her name or I missed that paragraph or what, but I don't think I did. It's probably in something else. Yeah, he talking about his baby mama right here. And then Mr. Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his home. Has recordings of several celebrities, artists, music label executives, and athletes engaging in illegal activity. These individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. 50 Cent said, SMH, this is going to be so good. What you want to bet I'm going to get these tapes? I pay top dollar for them. You been over there? I don't go to puffy parties. All right. People be like, that's why 50 be acting like a cop. 50 gonna do what he does. All right. New documents show that P. Diddy allegedly used videos of Stevie J having intercourse with another man to groom men into having X. 50 Cent said, whoa, say it ain't so, hitman Stevie J. The fuck? This shit is a mess. Academics has it posted, I believe, where she's paid off. Where who's paid off, Jonathan? So 50 on him over here with this. 50 on him over here with this. All right. So Stevie J could get it. He want to fight. Let's see what this is.
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch, dream chasers nigga. I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy.
50 said, damn boy, what you done did. I hope I don't get clapped for that little piece. Damn boy, what you done did. Oh, Daphne Joy. Academics has it posted, I believe, where she's paid off. I'm sure she is. All right, everybody's pay to play nowadays. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got here. Kirk Burrows. Let me see about that. Kirk Burrows. Whatever the fuck it is. Here we go.
Google Ads helps you turn curiosity.
50 baby mama out there. Young Miami, come on, I thought you was a rapper. All these chick rappers are sex workers. It all makes sense. Why the first line of every song is my pussy or my asshole or something. Flagged. Demonetized. Why? He mentioned the name of a woman's genitalia. Oh, shit. No science classes on YouTube. Shout out to Art of Dialogue. We're gonna link up these resource videos in the edited version and the live.
What went wrong between you and Puffy? Because if I'm not mistaken, he made you give up your ownership in Bad Boy, right? And they had you in
Made you give up your ownership of Bad Boy. I mean, the stories upon stories upon stories upon story. He has an extremely storied career. Daphne just released a statement. All right, Upper Echelon, I'm going to go after it right after this Kirk Burrows.
And they had bats and they made you give over your percentage.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the information. We on it.
To be able to answer that. Like I said, the evolution of the company.
What went wrong between you and Puffy? Because if I'm not mistaken, he made you give up your ownership in Bad Boy, right? And they had you in the room and they had bats and they made you give over your percentage.
All right, I would love to be able to answer that. Like I said, the evolution of the company started like you and I sitting like we are right now. If in a way it's like you're there and I'm across from you. That's the way we started Bad Boy. I would come over to the Uptown office, my notebooks, write down everything I need to do that day. Oh, let's get the LLC together. Oh, call Kenny. We need the employment agreement. Oh, let's do this. Oh, we got this session to do. Oh, mostly it was productions with the producers because we were uniquely situated as Bad Boy Productions to do productions on Uptown artists' productions, and we were paid through Bad Boy, through Uptown paying Bad Boy to do tracks for like Heavy D, Mary J, things of that sort. So we were very active in that, and that.
So they already had an incoming check before any of their own artists got on. They were already being subsidized by Uptown.
I was very busy in that time to do that, and what happened along the way, we had a lot of success. Got fired from Uptown. I was there, helping him to build back up again. Loyal, no betrayal, no stealing, family. His son's godfather. We were renegotiating Bad Boy. We had gotten over CCNY. It looked like the coast was clear. We were renegotiating with Arista. We were about to get a step up in the money. I had 25% of the company. I didn't know why he needed to get that back from me and then give it back to me again. I didn't understand that. Huh? That's like a trick. Like, okay, here, I gave it to you, now give it back. And
that's a
give
trick.
It right back to you. I didn't want to give it up. So he came into my office one day unexpected, him and Kenny Marsalis, they had it planned out. Kenny had the briefcase with all the stock certificates in it, and Diddy had the bat. Not like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with the bat, but he had the bat like, man, we got to do this. This has to happen. I didn't feel I was gonna get beat down in that office, in all honesty. I got people that can jump out of the shadows in a minute. I wasn't threatened by him. What I was messed up over was the fact that I started this company with you from day zero, and now the one solid thing that you told me I had, you wanna take that back and do a return to me on that at this critical time that we're renegotiating and getting a step up on the contract.
It just sounds like the man's character. It sounds like what you've heard from everybody. You know what I'm saying? I look at Styles and Sheik and Jadakiss as level-headed human beings. I don't believe they were trying to press or rob Puff. They were just trying to not get robbed by him no more. Seems like the same thing with this guy. But, grain of salt.
Contract. When he told me it was about all of that renegotiating and that I should trust, I did, begrudgingly, angry, upset. It wasn't right. I did it. He got the stock back. I went on, tried to get over that, kept doing my job, doing what I had to do, delivering everything. And once again, I was caught up in the job. I forgot all about it. And next thing you know, we had the snafu. I was fired. And he just said, oh, okay, bye. And since he had never given me the stock back, he never said that he would pay me anything or give me anything. He just avoided me all these years. Not only did he avoid me all these years, running high and low, I went on and started working with Mary, who the three of us started out together through Bad Boy Productions. What's the 411? She was signed to Uptown. She was started out under an elder A&R person. He assumed an internship position from internship to vice president of AD and A&R. He assumed the Mary Project. He put that magic on it. And with all of that success, when he got fired from there, the depression sunk in, suicide attempts, me, him, and his mother holding him together, Andre bringing him back, more success. Andre fires him, more depression. I set up the company, go get the deal for distribution. Biggie dies, depression, upset, wrong decision, the worst. I'm tired of puffing him up now because so many people had warned. I'm a little, not distant, but not running after you with the shovel, cleaning up all the shit. Smell a little bit of it now. We lost the number one guy that we had. Listen, smell a little bit of it. Learn a lesson. He said, nah, you out.
Wow.
I didn't pursue it with a lawsuit.
Sounds about
I looked
right.
at it like this was big, black, beautiful. I had something to do with it. It looks good. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of all the other cultures that looked at us and said they were winning. This was beautiful. And say, oh, I knew something was messed up with those guys. I knew something was wrong. I was trying to hold that back. At the same time, it was the worst thing that could have ever happened. He didn't want to honor me with credit. He started erasing my names off the albums, taking me off of anything that had any history with the company. He never paid me not one thing out.
He did the Xerxes for 300. I'll erase all existence of you and your people from the history books.
Wise, legacy-wise, from Bad Boy Entertainment, and I had 25%. In the legal world, I still have what they call a tolling agreement. If you give someone something, take it back, and didn't give them a fair exchange in value for it, then it's not a consummated deal per se. I still have a claim on those stocks.
The future.
Go get them. You still got a claim. Go get them. Now's the time. You can go get those stocks back for cheap right now, bruh. Just handle that. All right? All right, let's look up this, what's her face? Daphne Joy. Response. All right, I'm going to go check that out too, Jonathan. 50 reportedly seeking sole custody of son after ex Daphne Joy was accused of being Diddy's ex-worker. All right. Let's jump into that. That's a complex. Um, 50 Cent reportedly seeking sole custody of son after ex Daphne Joy was accused of being an ex-worker. Right, there she is right there. 50 Cent is reportedly seeking sole custody, blah, 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 blah. Was named as an alleged ex-worker in a lawsuit against Diddy. Fifth welcomed his second son, Sire Jackson, with Joy in 2012, and they split shortly after. Us Weekly reports that Fifth isn't happy about her being named in Rodney Little Ron Jones' lawsuit against Diddy, in which the Bad Boy Records founder was accused of ex-trafficking and years of abuse. Given the latest developments and news of Daphne Joy's involvement in the Diddy lawsuit, 50 is going for sole custody of his son, a source told the magazine. 50 Cent, in an apparent response to the news circulating online, tweeted, "I didn't know you was an ex-worker. You little ex-worker, LOL. Yo, this shit is a movie." Joy was directly named alongside Young Miami, with whom Diddy was romantically linked in the lawsuit as someone who had allegedly received financial compensation for ex-work with the media mogul. According to Plaintiff Jones, so is this the line that I missed? I don't think this line was in that. It might have been redacted and it might have been chalked up to her being a Jane Doe. According to Plaintiff Jones, defendant Sean Combs bragged about having several women on a monthly stipend. According to Plaintiff Jones, the women who received these payments are Caresha Romika Brownlee, a.k.a. Young Miami, Jade Ramey, a.k.a. Jade, and Daphne Joy Cervantes Narvaez. It's probably Narvaez, a.k.a. Daphne Joy. Yeah, we didn't read this. I didn't read this. Who were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' ex-workers. Based on information and belief, they received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill. 50 Cent and Joy's son, Sire Jackson, is now 12. He also shares 27-year-old Marquise with ex-girlfriend Shaniqua Tompkins. On social media, 50 Cent has indicated that he is planning to do a docuseries about the downfall of Diddy, who was accused of rape and years of abuse in a lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie in November last year. Diddy settled the suit the next day, but has since been hit with more lawsuits by alleged victims. All right? And for the record, Soraya, you say it's always in his music lyrics, but that last lyric we heard was a Meek Mill lyric. And he said, "Sorry for what I did with Diddy." What'd you do, dog? What did you do? Right? All right, let me see if I find Daphne's. Let me see if I find Daphne's jump off in here. Let me see. Upper echelon. Here we go. Daphne Joy responds. AOL. Complex. Let's get the complex joint. There we go. Daphne Joy responds to 50 Cent after he speaks on rumored relationship with Diddy. Everybody just sharing out there. Daphne Joy responded to 50 Cent after the Queen's rapper and father of her child perpetuated an unsubstantiated rumor on Instagram involving Joy and Diddy. Joy initially responded when 50 Cent took to Instagram to post a picture of him and their shared son, Sire Jackson, while accusing her of gallivanting with Diddy. Please stop doing this to me. I never bother you, and I'm an outstanding mother to our son. Can we please just focus on that? Joy wrote in the comment section. It's easy for you to say to focus on that when you have been alleged of trafficking ex-workers, and if you're in that case, maybe, allegedly, maybe minors. So I don't know that he has to stop doing anything. Please stop doing this to me. I never bother you. And I'm outstanding mother to our son. Can we please just focus on that, please? No, we can't. Sorry. The photo which depicts the G-Unit leader and Sire wearing sunglasses is staring at the camera straight-faced. Also sees Joy engaging with Diddy, according to 50 Cent. Oh shit, that's your mommy over there with Puffy, 50 Cent wrote in the caption. Remember what I told you the other day? These bitches be crazy. SMH. This photo's linked to an Instagram. Let's see if we can get that. Nope, that page is not available. That has been taken down. Figured that. 50 Cent's trolling added fuel to the fire as questions of an alleged affair between Joy and Diddy had already begun swirling after the former posted a video of herself enjoying Diddy's iHeartRadio Music Festival performance on Saturday. Joy thought it's best to issue a lengthier response to the allegations. I hate speaking. Let me make sure that this is dated correctly as well. She just wrote a comment about 50 Salute. I think we found it, but let me make sure this is today. No, see, this is an old article. All right, but that was the initial. That was when she first was messing with Diddy. We ain't got none of those pictures here either. So let me go back. Let me do this. Tools. Anytime past 24 hours. $5 hours ago. See, these people are clickbaiting. The AOL is clickbaiting with these old interviews. Yeah, this is the same one. Yeah, I don't see it upper echelon. So if you know where it's at, just let me know. If not, we'll wait for it. But let me check YouTube. Daphne Joy. And let me put this filter for today. "50 reacts. No, nothing from her. Young Ann accused of being sex workers. All right, I don't see it yet. Now, all this shit talk 50 be doing, he better not have no skeletons in his closet. Not a one. Not a one. But I do remember when he posted that picture of her and Diddy. And now your boy wants to scrap. Your boy Stevie J wants to scrap. So we'll see what happens. All right, make sure there's no new news. And I'd like to see the video, the body cam video that you're talking about. Let's see if this is it. Here we go. We got a little body cam. Share shit. Let this ad play. We'll get that. Salute to y'all for hanging out. Please hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. All right, make sure you check out our other playlist. I'll drop those in here while we wait. Here we go. We got the young mule. What's his face? All right, let's make sure we got some audio. Gotcha, man. He's like, shit, I gotta tell him everything. Got a Birkenstock sign. Yeah, no, put him in the car. Got his cool little shirt on, cool little hoodie. Guess who's going to jail tonight? He'll be out right away, though. I wonder if they searched everybody, though. Did they search Diddy? Did they search everybody? What made them just search him? There's some powder on his face? All right, that's it. There it is. We got it. All right, y'all. I don't see nothing else. We got Kirk Burrows told us the bat story. Gene Deal. So that looks like it's going to be it. That looks like it's going to be it. Let's see. Drop the rest of these links in the chat. Paste. Right, hopefully the steps that I took today will help the editing process and make things a little quicker. We shall see. Don't know. Got a couple of things going on behind the scenes. I got an open ticket with Power Chat, trying to fix the problems there. Again, I appreciate y'all. Here's the Discord link once again. All right, boom, paste the Discord link. I missed the shock drop today. The bread Jordan 4. I mean, I got it already, but I could have copped a flipper or somebody. I know somebody that needed one. Right, there's all the links. Again, I appreciate y'all. We got all the paperwork out the way, so now we'll wait and see, man. I don't know that too many more. I don't know how many more developments. We'll keep an eye on certain things. We're gonna start getting back to our regularly scheduled program, but we will keep our eyes on this situation and make sure that we know what's happening. And if anybody hears anything, make sure you drop it in the Discord, and I'll get to it. But for the time being, we don't know Diddy's whereabouts. And, you know, everybody's involved now, from radio to 50 Cent to everybody. So it's not looking good, not even a little bit. It's a bad look right now, right? It's a bad look right now. Let's see what I can find here. It's a bad look right now. Everybody's in trouble. We had Torre tell his little story. So, but we will keep an eye on it. We will try to find Diddy. Y'all can start dropping y'all hundreds in the chat. We're going to be moving on out of here. I'm going to drop hundreds in the chat for y'all. I appreciate you. Salutes Jonathan Pantoja. Salutes for another great day of content. Always on point, my dude. Condolences trying to get through all the bots on Nike. Yeah, the bots are something else. I used to be a bot. Hold on. Let me check my messages. Here we go. All right. Got it. Oh, it was on all right, I'm gonna get this up here. Let me get this up here. We got one more development before we go, y'all. One more development before we go. Get this in here. Boom. Attach that. Send that. Let's grab it over here. Grab it over here. Let's see what happens. Don't drag ass. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Download this. Yeah. Here we go. This is Daphne Joy's response to being on her puteria. All right. All right. This is Daphne Joy's response to everything that's happening, I guess. Everything is a joke to you. Oh, she's talking to 50, evidently. Everything's a joke to you until your safety's until our safety's compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? That's if you're not guilty. If you're guilty, he has every right. It's his son. How would you feel if it was Sire was the one in the handcuffs for nothing? All right, if you say so. We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son, and you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you. I'm tired of upholding and protecting an image to our son that you have never earned. All right, now this got nothing to do with the jokes. Now you complaining about old shit. I'm biased? I might be biased. I don't know. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of graping me and physically abusing me. Ho! All right. Allegations are flying. One of the paid ex-workers throwing smut on 50's name. Graping me and physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time. Uh-oh. What's she talking about, y'all? She's throwing around grape accusations. Now 50, you're going to laugh at it, you're going to answer it. Oh, I missed the top line. It said Curtis James Jackson. Right? Curtis James Jackson. So that's her response. Her response is accusations. You catch an accusation. You get an accusation. You get an accusation. Let's see how 50 handles this one. I'm going to make sure before we get out of here, we go take a look at 50's Instagram, because anything can happen there at any moment. Nothing new. Let's see how 50 handles these grape accusations. This is it's about to be a doozy. It's going down, y'all. Everybody's dirt's in the street. Salutes to y'all. Hope everybody has a great Thursday evening. I appreciate y'all for coming through and spending the time you did with me. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was a good time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm going to drop these edited videos. We'll be back to some Cartel content soon. Going to cover some stuff on the twins and some of the paperwork that I got for other people's cases as well. Again, if anything develops, we will be back. All right? We will be back. What time is it now? All right. We went, what? A solid 3.5 hours? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Let me find something here. She's speaking for little man's like his original baby mama. Right. Yeah, that's a fact. You think 50 burnt her baby mama crib down? Get out of here. You don't pay no bills here. You gotta get out of here. I do want to, let me see this. I'm gonna play the cool shit that I played earlier. King Chaz and me.
Higher for.
Gotta relax. They opened up a bunch of, Diddy opened up a bunch of can of worms. All right, so maybe, I don't know, maybe Diddy's an innocent man. Maybe it's all a lie. Maybe it's just mad smoke, no fire. Looks kind of flamey to me, if you ask. I don't know. If you're asking me, looks a little flamey for my liking. 50, you got nowhere to run. So we're going to end this with where I'm from and nowhere to run. All right, shout out to my brother King Chaz. He got the first 2 verses on this joint, and I anchor it. And run into where. Hold on, not so fast. Get a hold of yourself. Salutes to y'all, hundreds in the chat. I appreciate y'all. If y'all run into any info, make sure that you drop it in the Discord. All right, appreciate you guys. Have a great Thursday evening. Anything pops up, I will stay in contact with you guys. Salutes to y'all. Once again, thank you for being here. Let me run through the chat real quick of what's left of it because it's pushed back over here. Boom, we got Jonathan Pantoja. Salutes to you. PR Black. Jorge Castillo. Salutes to you. Shout out PR Black, Usual Suspects, Chucky Chingong, salutes Dan Sosa and NJ, salutes 030 North. Appreciate you guys, Ivan, Zoraida, IB, Lupe, my cousin Lolly, I love you. Crash Out, salutes to you, sir. HS on the check-in, I appreciate you. Frankie G, salutes. 298 Sosa, salutes to you. Elber, salutes to you. I got to check out, somebody got to clip my shout-outs from Oakland Link, salutes to him. Jonathan Pantoja, a lot of people don't have a thing for blah, blah, blah. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, salutes to you. Vicente, salutes to you. Upper Echelon, we appreciate you as always. Diego Ramos on the check-in, appreciate you. Velez, salutes to you. Thank you for coming through. Who else we got here? Felix Reyes was on the check-in, salutes to you, sir. Rilo, appreciate you. Luis Garcia, appreciate you. Gilberto, salutes to you for coming through. Thank you, sir. Nathan Wallace, as usual, appreciate you. Peter, as usual, appreciate you. Miguel Sua, salutes. El Mago, we appreciate you coming through. Aquino was on the check-in. Thank you for coming through, sir. All right, and I think we've reached the bottom. Shout out 323G, Usual Suspect in the building. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to bump this joint from a Chicago MC that I respect very much, my brother King Chaz. I came up with animals. All right, the dudes I came up with, you could not be able to rap around them. So, salutes to him. We're going to bump this King Chaz. It's called Where I'm From. I'll drop a link to it, the YouTube video link to it in the chat for those that want to check it out later. All right, and I will drop the link for Running Aware for those that want to see that later. And we're gonna go all the way out with these two right here. Salutes to y'all. Stay safe. Keep your heads up. And I will see y'all next time. All right? Peace.
About the time when I ain't had shit. I'm talking way before the Cuban or the yellow whip. Niggas thinking that I got a younger reflection of daddy. Look the same, but I'm telling you I wasn't him. The world turns as another nigga loses his life. While we glorify this money, never knowing the price. They try to tell me it's a gamble, we just rolling the dice. No, the game ain't fair, niggas ain't playing right. Could you last in a jungle full of wolves and thugs? A cesspool of jealousy with endless drugs. Wicked ass recipe, they out for your blood. And we the cooks behind the stove selling niggas the raw. And if you spell that shit backwards, then you see what I saw. Us against each other, no regards for the law. Murder after murder, some shit that you never heard of. Try to stay about the way I crack another cigar. Lord, it's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Come about the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, ain't trying to steal. Rather be judged Crush by 12, then carry by 6. And these bitches ain't to be trusted. I don't think with my dick. They say they crazy in love, but it'll set you up quick. And every bitch ain't Beyonce or the type to fiance. Thought he was a killer, turns out he was strong J. Couldn't be a dealer cause you hustle the wrong way. Rules to the fetty, a lot of niggas ain't ready. Be careful of your surroundings, boy, you're swimming with sharks. But knucklehead niggas don't listen, we know it all. A nigga disrespect my position, he gotta fall. And with that attitude right there, they fucked us all. Cause one go in the ground, the other behind the wall. Shorty got a glare like Ric Flair. Hating niggas turn into Mark Summers and Double Dare. One of the reasons I keep the burner in my underwear. Niggas knock your noodle back and I ain't trying to shit a pair. Yeah, it's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Coming out the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, ain't trying to steal, kill us.
Scared of what, where I'm from. No bent knee, your praying congregation changing the outcome. No negotiations with God's son. No warning signs of preparation you can make when your time come. Changing your respiration chokes the brain till your life done. Then you walk into the flames of what some claim is a bright sun. Everyone you knew confused, wondering how come. Why'd he choose you, a good dude with a young son? A wife, a good life, a knife, a bloodbath, a gun blast. You shot twice, you hurt bad. A bad joke quickly followed up with a dark laugh. And just that fast, that's your ass. You could just be sitting in the traffic. That's it, out the blue the glass hit. And you don't understand shit, too quick to register. Someone out here getting you, and the next thing you know, you don't get it.
It's hard coming where I'm from. Nigga, these shot streets is troublesome. Coming out the house, better have a gun. Niggas will chew you up like bubblegum. We hustle, we don't fear niggas. From the city where they killing all the real niggas. Feel like we a threat, they gotta deal with us. Police ain't protecting us, boy, ain't trying to steal, kill us.
Change what? We landed here. It's not the same, son. This is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up. Life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us. This why you scared. They over the hilltop. I see them right there. They'll wait for the kill shot. They'll sit and they'll stare. If we got a real shot for us, it's up there. We're hopeless if we stop. They'll kill us right here. Living in death's den. Run through the best winds. Storming the front gates. Whatever gets us in. Whatever gets us over. Whatever helps us win. Whatever we must do. Rescuing our kids. As long as they get through it. Don't matter if we live. God chose to bless you. I'll take all that death gives. I'm into this war ends. In memory of dead friends. In hope of a new way when all of this death ends. Who can we call on? It's me and it's all y'all. We're here by our lonesome. Nobody to fall on. Flesh in the dirt. Fire to ashes. Fate getting closer every moment that passes. Running away. No one is there. No one to save us. Nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same, son. This is despair. One of us came up. None of us cared. They want to change up. Life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us. This why you scared. Show me a safe place. Does it exist? It must be a wasteland where nobody lives, that nobody knows of, where nobody's been. Where we at is warfare every time you can get. What you can't get is real love or fucking respect. Set up for failure, a life of neglect. If none of us stand up, we'll live with regrets. If we rise, we might die, I call that a good death. What would I live for if I am oppressed? How can I raise up with the world on my chest? Who's gonna save us if you and I rest? They shoot us in cold blood when under arrest. Lock us in cold cells, consider it home now. Cut off from emotion, our feelings are stone now. Our buildings are blown out, the madness is so loud. It's dark and there's no sound, we gotta go now. Running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same, son, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to prevalent. Haters malevolent, hunger, starvation now, no hope for a heaven sent. Kiss the babies goodbye, say I love you to wives. Grab your weapons, get your steps in, we gon' ride when it rise. The sun mean you up when it's blinding your eyes. Put the wind to your back, leave them facing the sky. Put the pain in the dirt, raise your bloody fist high. Use your brain, do the work, strategize and survive. The rush of the dust up, the thrill of the gun buzz. The satisfaction of our reaction when there's no one to help us. The spoils of war, the hunger for more. The passion of how we smash it, what we hate through the floor. The rage, the loneliness of dead on the page. To cleanse this land, gotta burn more than to save. Crush the cage, body and soul unafraid. Kill them all and set them ablaze. No running away, no one is there. No one to save us, nothing to spare. How can I change what? We landed here. It's not the same, son, this is despair. One of us came up, none of us cared. They want to change up, life isn't fair. It's how we made, huh? Now you aware. It's why you fear us, this why you scared.